But
Like I was gonna wear my festival shirt, all big and bright and shit. But I'm gonna do that show, so I was like, let me that ain't showing here.
what kind of shirt?
From the festival.
Oh,
From the festival.
you had a particular shirt that you was
Like,
rocking?
yeah, I mean it's like the merch from the festival.
Okay.
Yes.
How was the festival?
Nigga, dope. Yeah, I definitely need to get on some of those indie films. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those indie films. A lot of directors and people that we know, the mad comedians there.
A lot.
I
Yeah.
saw that.
The mad comedians there.
I saw Brody down there.
Yeah. Brody was
He had
there.
a movie. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going next year, man. You ran into two of my girlfriends making good and they alone.
I got a picture with her.
But I got their phone
Yeah,
numbers.
see, yeah, you
You
should.
know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, you know Trey Elliot.
Yeah, you always ask if they know Trey Elliot.
Hell, man.
9 out of 10 times they
I was
kinda
trying
know
to get. I was trying
Trey
to get.
Elliot.
Yeah. I was trying to get. I couldn't get close to Megan.
Caitlin's father.
Yeah.
Couldn't get close to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, brother?
All
How you
right,
doing?
we got our guest. Yo, this is live from the green room, baby. We are back with another episode. Let's go. Yo, what up, y'all? We are back with another episode of Live from the Green Room, man. I am your host, one of your hosts, Trey Elliot.
Joe Fox in the building. Joe Fox.
Joe Fox with the delay. He ain't even start with the Captain Kirk's Jamaican run. What's up, man? You already know I'm already on my Captain Kirk Jamaican run, baby. We appreciate you. We about to get nice and saucy. Not saucy like last week, but, we going to be feeling real good. You know what I mean? And we got some special guests in the building today, man. I'm going to have them introduce themselves real quick. To my left.
Hey man, Chico Will, Southeast DC, born and raised. Just here, man. You know,
just here, man.
Just here.
in
Just
the
chilling.
building. My frequency. I don't gotta say a lot.
Yeah. Hey, let's give him his just due. Comedian and writer.
Comedian and writer. Currently I'm writing on Justice Court TV. You know, something small but something big. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. And then to my right, we got my man, comedian, actor,
Filmmaker.
writer, filmmaker, golfer,
Director.
Boxer.
I said boxer, right?
No, you
I didn't say
That's
boxer.
what you gotta say that first.
Boxing trainer.
Keep everybody in line. You know
Got
what I'm
my
saying?
man Dannon Green in the building.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Dannon Green in the house.
He got 17
Phillies in the house.
AKAs.
AKA Black, AKA Baby Dank if you're from the East Coast. West Philadelphia finest, Dobbins High School. Let's go, Ohio State graduate.
There
How
you
about
go.
that? The Ohio State graduate.
The Ohio.
Yeah, man.
Welcome to the show,
Thank you, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Welcome
Come
to
to the show,
Live
man.
from the Green
I appreciate it, man. Really.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming, man. So before we get into our regular banter, man, we always, when we have some dope comedians on the show, we always like to kind of just get their background and get their how they got started in the game and you know what drove them to LA and what they've been doing and just kind of like their upbringing, you know, just in life and into the comedy game, man. So we're gonna start with you, Chico. When did you get started with comedy? How did you end up in LA? You know.
I probably got started in comedy unlike anybody else. So I'm working for the post office.
Whoa.
I was a mailman. I get shot carrying mail. I get shot, right? So like I'm off for like 5 years. They paying, you know, I ain't doing no work.
Disability.
What did
I'm
you
on
get
this.
shot?
I got shot in DC.
But in the leg?
In my arm.
Yeah.
right
Oh, in
my
the arm. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm always been the funny guy for real. So like I'm off. People like, dog, you should try comedy. I'm watching Comic View. At the time, one of my homies, man, he like, man, you should try it, dog. I'm like, not even on my life list, to be honest, comedy at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably like 27, something like that. Went up to a comedy spot, tried to get on for a month. They wouldn't get me on. Finally, they let me perform, and you know, I was bitten at that point. So I did comedy in DC for probably like 12 years. kind of like running the city. Like y'all can check the history.
When I
left, I was kind of running DC. Like if you came in DC, you was going to check in like one of my shows. I had like 3 shows at a time per week. Right. So, you know what I'm saying? By then, like, I think, how long had y'all, Trey and them probably had been out here like 6 years. But they came from DC, him and Boogie, right? So we was in the same nucleus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And what year did you get here?
I got here 2015.
2015, right.
I got here 2015.
We got here 09.
09. So, you know, like when they left, it was like major. It was like, cause DC, people don't leave DC, to be honest. Right. Like, you just become a dope ass person till you end up, you know what I'm saying, have a woman take care of you for the rest of your life. Anyway, that's a comics end in the local cities. Anyway, so you know, Trey and them, like, I'm like, cause you know, comics, we hear everything. I don't care what city you in. If you tapped in, you tapped in.
Right.
So like, you know, I'm hearing like Trey buzzing out there. He doing all the showcases and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm a move. I kept saying I'm a move, but I'm kind of like BS. You know what I'm saying? But so when I got shot, my daughter was kind of like about to go to college. So I was like, this is my only opportunity. You know, I was working for the post all the time. So it's like, I'm trying to bid over here, like do the post office. They like give me everything but California. They like, we got Albuquerque, New Mexico. Right? You don't want to go to Transylvania. Like they doing everything. So they like, you don't want to go to Atlanta. They like, we can take you to Atlanta. I'm like, no. Then they try to give me New York, like upper New York. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no. So I resigned. I was like, you know what?
Quit.
I'm just gonna trust myself. You know, I'm placing all the best on myself. So I resign. You know what I'm saying? Trey and them, they every time man, you still in DC? No, they like, everybody, you still out there? Yeah, you at the top of that, but that's a small pool. They small pooling me, right?
Yeah,
so,
small pool.
They small pooling me. So I'm like, God dang, man, like, and you know, at this point too, few people who from DC came and went and came back.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
People literally move here for like a week.
I'm trying to
Oh,
like
man,
some names that was okay out here. You know what I'm saying? Lazy Lamont. So like, Lazy Lamont, he came and went back. I don't like him at this point. So what? That's a long story. That's something else. Anyway, so like, you know, like Trey and them out here bubbling, right? So I'm like, dang, man. So I'm like, I finally make the jump. You know what I'm saying? I move here, and they pretty much train them, showing me around, and also just, you know, like out here, you got to put in your own work because you ain't gonna be with everybody all the time.
Right.
So like, you know what I'm saying, I started like just going to a comedy store, getting on the podcast, Crack 'em Up. Then I end up hosting Crack 'em Up, and you know what I'm saying, that kind of lead me up to here, man.
So how long you been hosting Crack 'em Up? Because I know you been,
man.
that's like at least 5-6 years.
About 5-6 years. And I started, this is a quick story, not to overdo, but I'm the 6th man on the podcast. So, Nichelle, I'm like, can I do something and Crack 'em Up? I'm new here. I do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, need to get an outfit to go to the cleaners, whatever. So, I'm like, I'm in, right? So, she like, nah, but if anybody call in from Crack 'em Up, I'll let you know. She like, it's 6 people in front of you, Chico. So whenever they don't show, you get a chance, maybe. I'm like, I'm there. So she'll call me like, podcast started at 6:30. She'll call me at 5:35. Can you make it? I'm like, God damn, yeah, I can make it. Because I mean, like, I don't have nothing. I ain't connected to no clubs or nothing. So this is my only way in my mind. I'm thinking I got just, you know. So like, I went from 6 to first podcast. Me and Dale end up hosting the podcast. I'm going crazy in the podcast. So they like, you know, from what I heard, the murmurs like, hey man, Chico doing too much in the podcast.
Give us something else to do.
And we, you know, they had like analytics and like my nights there was doing the better numbers.
Right.
So Michelle was like, "Is anything else you want to host?" I'm like, "That's what I wanted the first time." But I had to go through this bullshit. But that's just like the process. Sometimes it take a long time to get where you want. You know what I'm saying? But you got to trust the process. And, you know, at the time too, it was like, you know, I think Trey was hosting him and Red Grant. Had
on the Tuesday night. The Tuesday night.
Cracking. Yeah, so that was like the cracking night. So like I was kind of being there 2 nights. So I'd be there with them, then I'd be there kind of like on just to be honest, the white nights.
Right.
Yeah.
Just hanging around and stuff. And so, you know what I'm saying, that's how I went from getting shot to right now. That's my inception up to right now.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Yo, we got
You already saw the comment.
You already got a comment already?
Go ahead and read the comment.
Tony said, "Is that Dannon? I thought that was TD on Ozempic."
TD Jakes.
Tony who?
Shout out to Tony Rock.
Oh, Tony Rock. Oh, there you go. Yo, Tony better behave, Tony.
Shout out to Tony Rock. He's out there.
You tell Tony
getting
I
a
ain't
nice tan in
What is it?
San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Puerto Rico.
What up,
Right.
brother?
The
Thank you
birthday
for tuning
weekend.
in, man.
Puerto
We holding it
Rico.
down. He started his the birthday weekend started last week on the podcast episode. You know what I'm saying? And now, he celebrated his birthday for
Is
like
this Gemini?
3 months.
Is this still Gemini?
No, you
Oh, this
cancer.
Okay.
Cancer.
Okay.
Rock is a cancer.
Shout out to him. You know,
So-
that's one of my boys. I love him.
Yeah, so speaking of TD Jakes on Ozempic, let's go to my man.
What up, y'all?
Let's go to D Green.
Well, I
the
started.
Philly native.
That's right.
Feeling the building.
Yeah, Dannon, tell us your
My story?
Tell us your background, your story, man. We want to hear about the boxing, the Golden Gloves. First
Well,
one, you got a black
this-
eye in the ring.
yeah.
We want to hear everything.
All right,
This
well,
is
first of all,
comic history.
I started preaching about. No, I'm
Just
kidding.
got
Actually, T-Rock, that's my man. My background is in terms of the comedy game. I mean, I went to college. I did my undergrad out in Iowa, so I always wanted to be a businessman, and so I can draw. When I was young, I could draw real well.
Okay.
And so I wound up going from, I went to high school and finished my last year in school. Actually, my last year in school was in Eleanor Roosevelt in Maryland.
Oh, yeah, Maryland. Yeah,
Yeah,
where
so-
Martin went.
Martin and I graduated together.
Yeah, yeah.
Same day, same class. Him and his sister.
Fun fact.
Yeah. So I wanted to be, I applied. I wanted to go get a degree in computer graphics. So I applied to there was only one school in the whole country that ever offered a degree. This is 1984. A degree in computer graphics, and that was the school in Iowa called Marycrest College.
Okay.
So I went out to there. So I'm the first, history-wise, the first African-American to get an undergraduate degree and a master's in the field of computer animation.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was there. Thank you. So
Big.
while I was an undergrad, I mean, people was, I'm a talker. You already know that.
Yeah.
So, and then I was school, and I went to a white school in Iowa, so it was all white, and I was president of all the classes, vice president of my last year of SGA. So people was like, "Yo, you funny." I used to host a lot of events, and I used to try to rap. So, quick story is, I played NAIA ball, believe it or not, for a year and a half, basketball. So we went to Topeka, Kansas for this tournament one time, and we were at this, after the tournament, we had lost a real close game to actually Dennis Rodman old team.
Oh, wow.
The year he left, we played them the next year.
Okay.
And so anyway, make a long story short, I had grabbed the mic at this club we went to. I was all messed up and I was rapping and shit. And it was like, so the people from the band said, "Yo, hey man, why don't you join our band?" I was like, "Nigga, I'm in college, nigga. I'm just here, because I'm in Iowa, I'm down in Topeka." So that kind of got me kind of interested, but I wasn't really interested in doing any comedy, and I only wanted to be in entertainment. So at that time, I had started fighting again. So I started boxing when I was 14.
Okay.
Came in second in 1981 in Junior Olympics in Philly. I lost to go to the regionals. And then, so then I didn't box while I lost my mom, so I didn't box for a long period of time. When I was in school, I quit basketball because I wanted to go to grad school. And so when I went to visit Ohio State, my grades were low. I had all the requirements, all the art part background. But they're like, "Yo, your grades are low. Why is they low?" I said, "Well, I'm putting myself through college and all that."
Yeah.
They said, "Well, look, you can't get in with those grades." So I was like, "Yeah, I had like a 2.3. You have to have at least 2.78
Wow,
to be considered for graduate school." So when I got back, I quit. Then all the dudes on the team was mad because I was the clown. We partied and shit.
yeah.
"No, Green, you can't quit." Like, nigga, I'm trying to go to grad school. Nigga, I'm gone. So I quit basketball,
yeah.
and then I just I found a gym in town, Davenport Boxing Gym, and started training there. Now that was the same gym that Michael Nunn went to.
Okay.
So I started fighting for them, and then at the time, my grades were going up.
Okay.
So in '87, I got the chance to spar Michael Nunn, right, for a fight that he had. He had a fight in town, and I'm southpaw, so they needed a southpaw sparring partner for him for that week. So I sparred Nunn that week. So the significance of that story is I sparred Nunn, and people was like, because they only knew me as a student at Marycrest, so they did an article on Nunn in town, and I was in it. It's like, "Yo, this guy here went 3 days with Nunn," and so people was like, "Yo, who are you?" Like, you know what I mean? I was like, "Yo, I used to fight out of Philly." So what happened was it made me get back into boxing because I kept thinking like, I'm not going to fight nobody in the amateur as good as this dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I got back into it heavily. I won 3 fights in Iowa, and then I applied to Ohio State and I got in. So took the GMATs, passed, you know, because contrary to what people would believe, I'm pretty smart. I took the SATs and I took the GMATs.
Yeah.
You got to take those.
Yeah.
So I get to Ohio State, and I'm doing my thing, and I'm fighting. And I won the Golden Gloves in '89, and then I won them in '90. I won them back to back.
Wow.
So what happened was, as I was doing that, one of my partners one night, we come back we used to go to this club in Columbus called Point 3.
Okay.
And so we would meet there after class on, every Friday. So this one time, Joey came late. So he's like, yo, Dan. I said, yeah, Joey, me and my boyfriend, like, what, nigga, why was you late? He's like, oh, nigga, me and Tasha, that was his girl and his wife now. He was like, we went to a comedy show, man. He's like, yo, nigga, I ain't gonna bullshit you, dog. You funnier than them niggas, man. You should be a comedian. And I said, man, and I blew it off. I said, man, I'm like, nigga, I'm trying to be a businessman. You know what I mean? Right. And I blew it off. So what happened was, my last year, I graduated from Ohio State, and I was finishing up my thesis. Mm-hmm. I did the paper. I wrote a thesis, but then I was also finishing up my the art part of the thesis.
Yeah.
So I got invited down. After I won the gloves, I lost to go to the Nationals.
Okay.
I lost. I was a fight away from going to the Nationals. I shouldn't have lost the fight.
Okay.
But I fucked up.
What weight is this?
I was fighting 47. I won the Golden Gloves at 56. Yeah.
Okay.
I won the Golden Gloves at 156. Mm-hmm. Okay. But what happened was, and it's my fault, because I always came in my weight would always come in about 150, 151.
Okay.
Right? So I was supposed to fight. I was going to fight to go to the Nationals, right? At the open part, but I told my trainer, I said, look, it was 3 dudes that was tough. It was a dude named Snow, Dink Bradley, and the other dude. These dudes was tough. Mm-hmm. I said, look, I should fight 47. I said, because I got to go through these dudes. And I know I could probably get them, but nobody was at 47. Mm-hmm. So he said, well, can you make weight? I said, yeah, I can make weight. But what happened was, we didn't have that kind of training that we have now. Mm-hmm. So I'm in school and I'm dropping weight. So I'm coming in about 45, 46, but I'm not strong.
Right.
So you see what I'm saying? So I made weight the first night. I beat the boy. But what happened was, he got me in the corner, and when I went to move, I slipped and I twisted my ankle. Ooh. Wow. So that night, instead of me being able to, because what people don't know, after especially in the amateurs, after you have a fight, usually what happens is you go eat, you chill, watch other fights, you eat, then you get a chance to do a light run, little jumping, and so you know what I'm saying. So you get to keep your body warm, but you get to move the food in your stomach.
This is after
the first night.
Okay.
To go to the National. So I won that fight, but I hurt my ankle, but I couldn't because my ankle swelled up. So I'm in the bed with an ice cube on it, laying back like, man.
Yeah.
So the next night I get in there and I can't really move. But the thing was, when you fight in tournaments, it's like AAUs, you get the same coaches or whatever, so people know who you are and the judges.
Right.
So I was in this fight with this dude. So my trainer, Vonzel Johnson, out of Columbus. So the funny thing about it, he was like, I got hit. I was banging with the boy, but he was like, yo, he came to me. He's like, damn, what's wrong? Because I don't usually get hit. Yeah. Like I was slick. So I said, man, I can't. He said, he looked at me. He gave me a look like he knew it. Your trainer. It's funny when you're in that corner with your trainer because that's like your partner. He gave me a look like, because I used to always say, the joke was, after each round, I was always in control. I just go, he like, look, Dan, this is what I need you to do. And I was like, Vons, let me ask you this. He like, Dan, listen, man, I need you to, he said, I said, Vons, let me tell you this. He said, what, man? I said, hey, how I look? He like, nigga, don't worry about how you look, nigga. Just, because I was always so, this one time he came back after the second round, he looked at, he gave me a look like, what's wrong? I said, man, I can't feel my legs. He said, you got to get him, you behind.
Yeah.
So I went out there and I got the boy. Mm-hmm. But I had never got hit like that. And it was a white boy and they gave him the nod.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I really beat him.
Yeah.
But it was so close, they just gave him the nod.
Damn, yeah.
So then after that, I was like, I was just in Columbus doing my stuff. And then one day I'm driving down the street and I see on this marquee, it said open mic night. And I go, damn, everybody keeps saying I'm funny, you know what I mean? So I wrote like 4 jokes. Like just because I'm in school, I already know how to write, so I started writing, and I went on stage. I didn't go on stage. I went to this place. It was where they took your name out the hat, and it was 16 comics there, only 8 spots, and they drew my name.
Oh, okay.
And I always say, if they didn't draw my name that night,
it wasn't meant to be.
I would have probably never done it again.
Yeah.
So the first time I ever go on stage, I get second place in a comedy competition.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because they was like, who are you? I was like, I just
competition?
They made it a comp. It was one of them clubs, like one of them bars.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One of the bars, they put your name out and
like a lottery.
Yeah,
pit,
and then they, you get the drinks, some shit like that.
Right.
So what happened was then, So I was like, oh, they've been these, and it was all white clubs. Like I didn't even curse, which is why I can do clean comedy.
Yeah.
When I first started, I never cursed. I never said nigga. I said that I came up through the white boys. So they was like, yo, you funny Ohio. I said, oh man, everybody go to Ohio State. Oh nigga, you funny motherfucker. They ain't say, oh nigga, but they're like, oh man, you good. Like, oh, nigga, you
What
good.
if they did?
That would have been funny.
Nigga, man.
He's a funny nigga right here. Yeah. Fry the food up. They like it fried. So what happened was I was like, oh man. So I entered this competition in Columbus. It was a 6-week competition. Funniest person in Ohio. And whoever wins it would get to tour all of the southern part of Ohio.
Yeah.
And I won it.
Oh, wow.
Wait,
And
how much you win?
I won that night like $150. Now you gotta figure 1990,
Yeah.
150 and 191.
money.
That's big money. Gas was
150 wasn't never allowed.
yeah.
In 1990?
Bro,
got-
$150.
you got
150.
You got that comic view money.
Right, yeah.
You got that BET money.
Yeah.
for
Look it up.
comedy?
Look, ask what gas was at that time.
Gas
And
was like-
Yeah, 89
Yeah.
cents.
yeah. So I won 150
Less
plus,
than $1.
Plus I got to tour like six different clubs, right?
Yeah.
That's dope.
So at that time, that summer, I got invited to Ray Leonard's gym. So this was the turning point of my whole career.
This in Maryland?
Yeah, in Palmer Park.
Yeah.
So I got invited to Ray Leonard's gym, and because they were interested in me finding, being they were looking for fighters, and so I go there with my girlfriend at the time from school. So we in there, and I'm psyched. It's summertime, psyched as shit, and I get in there and I sparred 2 of Ray's partners, and my uncle with me. God rest his soul. My uncle was with me. So my uncle was in there. He was all, how your uncle is, all excited, taking pictures of shit. I'm lacing it up, feeling good. And I get in there with this one of his boys. This first one I sparred is this dude named Bird. And if you ask Kenny Wack knew him.
Okay.
So
Shout out Kenny Wack.
shout out to Kenny Wack.
Wack.
So I'm in there, man. And amateur style is altogether different. So I'm in there and I'm just kind of like moving. I'm moving around. And this nigga just, I don't know why, but he just like laying. So I'm pop trying to throw jabs and he just laying. And I dropped my hand. He cracked me, knocked me back. And he didn't knock me down because I take a good shot. So I was like, oh shit. I'm like, oh, this the pro shit right here. This ain't no amateur shit right here.
Right.
So I sparred him 3 rounds. I sparred some dude named Mike. I went 6 rounds, man. They was trying to beat the shit out of me, right? Because I just couldn't get together and the speed was different. So my uncle was joking. He's like, I was taking pictures. When that nigga hit you, I put the camera down. I was like, they gonna kill him. So what happened was we went home that day. We strategized that night. The next day I came back. I did good.
Yeah.
Right? So my uncle went to Pepe Guerrero and said, yo, what do you think about him? He said, oh, we like him, man, but we can't do nothing with him right now because Ray about to come in for the Terry Norris fight. So when I drove back to Ohio, I was finishing my thesis, like I said. I was like, maybe I want,
Yeah.
Because you got to be a pro fighter, you got to eat, live, and drink it.
Yeah.
So in this time, I'm going to the comedy clubs. And then what happened was this one night, I'm at the Funny Bone in Columbus.
Oh, Columbus.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a white comic named Rich Scheidner. Don't know if you remember him. You ever remember the movie Roxanne with Steve Martin?
Yeah.
He was the one that Steve Martin beat up with the racket.
Okay.
Remember when he was talking about his nose and all that? Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to talk to him. Yeah, real old school dude. So I got to talk to him for a whole week. Just every day I was leaving class and breaking up there. You know what I mean? Leaving work and going to the clubs and just talking to him. And then he said to me one night, he said, the last night he was there, he said, how old are you? I said, I'm 26. He said, you need to move to L.A. And I said, well, why you say that? He said, because you seem mature enough where you're not going to get caught up in the lights. And so I was job hunting already. A lot of jobs for animation that were out here. So I moved out here with my late brother. He was living in Long Beach. Moved out here, but what happened was the riots. I moved out here 2 months before the riots.
Damn.
Okay.
Now, you want to talk about an awakening.
And did you move to where? To that area?
No, I was down in Long Beach.
Okay.
Right? But I was coming back and forth to L.A., so I never came up to even Hollywood. The first I was coming to the Comedy Act.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So what happened was, and then I'll go ahead and kill it. But what happened was, I got in town, and this girl I was dating came out here on business. So we go have dinner. So there was a young lady, there's a woman that used to be big at BET called Mary Majors Blacks. I don't know if you remember her. And so we were having dinner with her, and she said, what do you want to do out here? I said, well, I got a degree in animation. I'm looking to do that. I said, and also, I'm interested in doing stand-up comedy. She said, oh, are you? I said, yeah. She said, well, you see the guy behind you? And I looked. She said, he owns the only black comedy club in the country. It was Michael Williams.
Michael Williams. Yeah.
Like, you
That's
can't
big.
write this shit up. You know what I mean? So I said, oh. So I got up and I said, excuse me, sir. And he said, yeah. I said, he was having dinner. I said, it was down there on Wilshire, this restaurant. I said, Yeah, I'm new in town. I was just, I heard that you on the comedy club. I was over there with this group over there. Wonder if I could, be interested in coming to the club. He gave me the address, said, come on down. And what happened was he took a liking to me. Mm-hmm. So Michael Williams made me the host of the amateur night at the Comedy Act. Mm-hmm. So that's how I got my chops set. So before every show, I was always do the amateur hour.
Right.
And then, the rest is, I got out here and, obviously a lot of people know I was involved with Fat Tuesday, things like that.
Fat Tuesday with Guy Torrey document is on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I would say the most historic event in Hollywood.
Yeah, Fat
still
Tuesday.
been able to really duplicate Fat Tuesday.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know what that is, that was every Tuesday back in the 90s, early 2000s.
96 we started.
In 96.
Yeah.
96.
Where Guy Torrey hosted it. Danny
95.
Green was involved with it.
Well, him and I started it. He started it.
Yeah, you could tell that part of the story. Because it's all good because they didn't highlight. They only highlighted.
I wasn't in it.
Guy,
Right,
he
we ain't
wasn't in it.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Super quick. I have the data. I got to share with it right
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Super quick, okay? In 1990, $150 in 2024 would be equivalent to $360.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So about twice as much.
good right there.
Yeah. Hey, and gas. Find the see how much gas was at the time.
Gas was $1.50 was the national average.
Right, but in
It's
Columbus,
equivalent now to $3.60.
right. So and I'm in Columbus, and I'm driving a Nissan Sentra. So
That was
And
Yeah.
last
That's a lot of
thing,
money.
Tony said one more thing. He said, "Damn, Dannon checked every Negro box: boxing, basketball, rap, and comedy."
Tony, that's my man.
Now
Real
you going
nigga
for
right over
pastor.
Yeah. So yeah.
So tell us. So tell us about Fat Tuesdays, like with your involvement, and pretend this is the new Amazon Prime, and let us know live on the Green Room your side of the story with how it went with you and Guy.
Well,
or the part, if you was in the documentary, what would you have said and what would you have?
Well, I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Keep it a buck.
I feel like I wasn't in it because people felt, or maybe he felt I was gonna be negative about it. Because we cool. You know what I'm saying? Got no beef with him at all.
Right.
I'm good with him, but we just not like we used to be.
Right,
and
right.
we used to be like this.
Okay.
When I met Guy, we were on the same level, and how we became cool friends was it was a group of us that used to write together. But every time we would get together, right, the other 2 or 3 dudes would be over there watching TV and fucking around. Me and Guy be at the table writing.
Right.
So Guy said, "Yo, you serious about this?" It was at Joe's house. I remember the night it happened. I said, "Yeah, man." He said, "Man,
Joe
all right, man."
Foss?
No, Joe.
Joe Torre.
Joe. I'm sorry, Joe, his brother's house.
Can you back up just a little bit? You mentioned the Comedy Act Theater, and you've been around for a minute. So
Yeah.
when you started, who's who that started at that time?
So-
Robin Harris was still alive.
No. So see, when I got here, Robin had died. So
Yeah.
Robin had
Oh.
died. So the club was kind of down. It took a big hit.
So this is right after he passed.
Yeah, I came in '92.
Okay.
I moved out
okay.
here in 1992. So I
Right.
started comedy in '91. Moved out here in '92.
Okay.
And so when I came out here, it was like the hot comics were like Louis Dix.
Right.
Chris Tucker and them was just getting out of here. Like I was out here when I saw all these dudes,
Right,
came up.
right.
You know what I'm saying? And but Chris and them, but the Atlanta crew, them dudes hadn't came to LA yet. You know what I mean? So, but what happened was Def Jam was Joe had just gotten Def Jam. Martin did it, and then Martin left Def Jam because
Yeah,
he got the show.
got the show.
Yeah.
And so then they said, well, who's the next hottest comic in the country? And it was Joe at the time. So that's how Joe got it. But the problem with Def Jam at the time, I wasn't ready. I knew I wasn't ready for Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? But then a couple years later, that's when Comic View came out. So just a little story on that part. That's what got me my name because I had sent my tape into Comic View. When it first happened, DL was hosting and all that. And a lot of guys was on it. So when they finally moved Comic View up to the status they were doing it now, the funny thing about it was I sent them my tape like 4 times. They were like, "Oh, we lost your tape." I was like, "Oh, man." Like, y'all gonna
You
lose
lost
a nigga
this big
tape.
ass brick?
Yeah. And for people to know, when you lose a cassette tape back in the day, that was a hit. You know what I mean? Because you
Well,
know,
like you had 10 copies.
yeah, it wasn't like you had 10 copies.
Yeah.
So what happened was, I finally got a chance to do Comic View. They picked me, and it was when Montana was hosted.
Montana Taylor.
Yeah, remember the female? She was a female comedian. Yeah,
Female.
yeah.
Out of
I can't remember where she was from. But she was hosting with because we shot it down here on Sunset Boulevard.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm getting on stage, and D. Militant is one of the producers and people like that. The late D.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Militant.
So I get on stage, man, and I'm doing my thing, right? But I'm nervous.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm starting off my jokes. And I'm starting off with my heavy one, right? And
Going to the head.
I look at because you know, so I look in the back of the room. We shot it down at the old Sunset. The something room down there. It's off of Sunset Boulevard down there. Where anyway, it was big, you know, big. And what happened was I saw one of a red light pop on in the back. Right, and I was like, and I did about like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I was like, okay, y'all, hey, thank you guys so much, and left the stage, right? So I'm leaving, and then when I get off stage, the Militant, they stop. I'm like, why did you get off stage? I'm like, cause I saw the red light. They're like, no, nigga, that camera was hot. That was the hot camera. That wasn't the light.
Oh, he's
I got
like
off.
on air, and you got off early.
Because anytime you got the hot camera, it shows you which one. That's where they switch it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I was depressed, man. I really got depressed because I said I blew my shot.
Yeah.
You know, I blew my shot. And what happened was, but my 2 minutes was funny. So D. Militant took that and edited it out and put me in the best of Comic View. So you remember they was doing that?
Right, yeah.
So he
They
was chopping me up. He gave me a
looping it up.
solid. So people was like, oh, I saw it was funny, but I still didn't feel like I blew it. But what happened was BET wound up having this show. They had this big audition for this show called Keeping It Real.
Okay.
And it was like a talk show. Like 3 guys were gonna be sitting on the couch talking about life and then introducing music videos. Well, everybody was auditioning from, all the big names.
Right.
Speedy, people like that. All names that anybody was a comic. And I got the part.
Okay.
Because I came in as a character.
Dope.
Yeah.
And it was me, Jeff Brown, and Shang.
Wow.
So if you ever look at the old Comic View, it's called Keeping It Real.
Okay.
And
Got a
so
memory of
and
that.
Ronaldo Ray was because he was MC, he was the on stage,
bartender.
bartender, yeah. So he said he always said my name wrong, and Dannon, as beautiful, like nigga, my name ain't Dannon, you know?
Dannon grind.
Right. So that's what. So then what happened was when you did that, they came back that year, and it just happened to be that year. They said we're going to start doing specials.
Okay.
And they said, and whoever has the best Comic View special is going to be the host. That's what they have said.
Yeah.
They changed up our show though. Instead of giving us our own BET show, they wound up putting us in Comic View.
Okay.
But that's our show is where Old Drama and The View came from. We were the first show ever on TV that had a show like that.
Yeah, but
So
that Comic View was wild because they did have the best, but they also had the worst that they had.
yeah. So
which could have messed your career.
yeah.
your career.
They didn't play around with it. So what happened was they came to us, Curtis Gaskin and them, and they said, "Yo, we're gonna give you our specials." We was like, so we didn't have to audition. They only gave out 15.
I remember G Thing had one.
I think G, but the first year, I don't think G didn't have one the first year.
Right.
So, man, I went home. I wrote my ass off, dog. I wrote my ass off, and I had one of the best. It's when I had that red shirt on. I don't know if you remember. I had a red shirt on.
Yeah.
So,
Don't you still got it?
Yeah, I got the motherfucker. Yeah, I was wearing it to the elbow wore out. You know what I mean? But so that's my comedy part. But just
I
go
want
ahead.
you to go back to with the
Fat Tuesday.
Yeah, with the Fat
Okay,
Tuesday.
so I'm gonna keep it a buck. So here's the deal. There's a lot of different conversations out there. A lot of from guys saying that I wasn't appreciative of it. I didn't show. That's not what happened by any means. But more or less, what happened was, when we started, he came to me. He's like, "Yo, damn, I'm about to start this comedy night. You want to be down with me?" I'm like, "Motherfucker, right?" You know what I mean? Because I from Good News to all this stuff. I had went to guy years ago and I said to him, I said, "Look, man, we need to do a pact." There's Chris Spencer, Darryl Heath, and Alex Thomas used to always hang together. And I used to look at them and I admired them. I said, "Man, we need to be like them." I said, "Look, this way, if you make it before me, you pull me up. If I make it," because those dudes, they was a clique.
Yeah.
So me and God was hanging and stuff like that. And so Fat Tuesday, I went to with him. We went to every single mall, every club in Southern California, from Pasadena to Del Amo to passing out flyers. And the first night, I'm probably the first person to ever perform at Fat Tuesday because I did the warm up and then I would bring Guy on stage.
Yeah.
Were you there when they had the sketch comedy?
But that was even later.
Okay.
Because we started in the belly room.
Right. Not a lot of people know that.
So the first night, blew that motherfucker out, blew the belly room out. We was turning people away, and we just became the biggest night in LA.
Do you remember who you had on that first night?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know who the first. You know, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know who was on the first night, but I do know that because the belly room wasn't like it is.
Yeah.
Like the stage is bigger now. That stage when the belly room used to be back in the day used to be like a little cut in the corner.
Wow.
Yep.
And you had seats going up there. So literally, the stage was probably from here to here, and the rest was all. I mean, they was up on you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but it became one of the biggest nights, man. You know what I'm saying? It
How
just
long
became.
before it went from the belly room to the main room?
So
Not long.
No, well, what happened was we had it upstairs for a number, like about first 6 months or something.
Mm-hmm.
So then we had a meeting, you know, and like I said, I was all the stuff. I don't know what you heard in the streets, but I was at all the meetings. It was just me and
never
Guy.
heard anything.
Well, because it was just a lot of stuff that was being
That
said.
was probably before we even got out.
Yeah. No, it's just recently.
But also understand that Fat Tuesday, that's what set the trend of black nights at all comedy clubs.
Because we were before the Improv.
Yeah.
We were before.
Way
we was
before
before
that.
every
No.
Let me tell you, bro. I used to be at Guy's spot. This is when he wound up. First he was living in the Valley, and then he wound up moving to down to Culver City. We used to be there. We used to get calls from. I'm talking about all the top managers. Yo, my guy is coming to town. Yo, we just wonder if we can get him on. We just want to give him. We were the showcase room.
Yeah.
Like it was the room. So when what happened was it just built. So we had it upstairs, and the guy came to me. He said, "Yo, man." I want to. He said we should try to have one night a month downstairs, down in the main room. So we called it Fat Tuesday, and he said we're gonna call that Fatter Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So that's how that became about.
Fatter.
What happened was, man, we moved it down there. We moved it down there, and what people don't know is the first time Guy had gotten a writing gig. So the first time he gave it up, he gave it to Buddy Lewis. So Buddy Lewis was one of the hosts too.
Oh, no, that I never knew.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. Yeah, so Buddy was one of the hosts first, right? I was still doing the warm up for it, but Buddy was the main dude.
And
right?
that warm up is a good spot.
Oh, man.
People don't
Because
like that.
you used to do it in aftermath. Like when Fat Tuesday start, you did it a few
when I
times
was
too.
doing it, when we had Laugh Mob, when it was Laugh Mob on Sunset, I was doing a warm up, and yo, I took that as like, yo, this is my part.
Man, let me
this is
let
my
me
show.
let me tell you something, bro. We had the hottest room in the country. It was him and me.
Everybody
So,
came through
no
there.
bad
Nigga, I
spot.
could give you. Nigga, it wasn't no bad spot.
Everybody was coming
and people
through
don't understand. Everybody can, and dudes used to come to me. And you know, the Fat Tuesday, relationship wise, it hurt me with some comments because I was the front dude a lot of times. So I was telling niggas, cause Guy would be in the back, he's like, yo, man. So I was the dude that had to tell dudes, yo, you can't go on.
Yeah.
So people don't know.
The
I
axe
almost
man.
had a fight with Freeze Love, Eddie Griffin, and Corey Hogan over the club. You know what I'm saying?
Did they know
Back
you was
then.
a boxer back then?
Nah. I'll tell you the funny story about. I'll tell you it's funny. And the funny thing, it hurt with Freeze Love. We good now. Like I'm good with all of them.
Shout out
Yeah,
Freeze
yeah.
Love.
Yeah, Freeze, we good. But it hurt with Freeze because me and Freeze was always tight. But I
Yeah.
think Freeze got salty with me because what happened with Eddie Griffin.
Okay.
So I'll share the story what happened to Eddie Griffin. So one night, and me and Eddie's good. So one night we let me put it this way. We had so many people that would come in that club, bro. We used to turn people away. So it got to the point we were selling tickets for the next week.
Damn.
This is no lie. You know where the front door of the Comedy Store is?
Yeah.
It would go to the corner and around the corner. And we ain't talking about single file.
Yeah.
Like this shit was it was
There's
crazy.
a bunch of niggas on Sunset saying, what the hell's going on, man?
Yeah, man.
I seen
To the
pictures.
point. Yeah, I mean, anytime people would drop out, yo, what, you know, and then we got every big name: Denzel, Shaquille. Like I got pictures and shit with all them dudes.
Yeah.
So at that time, like in the main show, how much time was Commons getting?
So how we did it was we ran the motherfucker like a club. So I would come up, I'll do 10 minutes up front. I bring Guy on. Guy will host. Then we have an opener, I mean a 1, 2, 3. And we left, so we gave 20, we gave like 15, 20, 30. And then we left enough time for if we had a special guest. And we paid them that way. I think we went 50, 75, 150, 100. And then, but we got so big, like you know Norman Lewis?
Yeah.
Like Norman
Norman
Lewis would
Lewis
tip us
limousine.
off like, yo, I want you to, give us a shout out and here's an extra 500 to give out to people.
Man.
And what people don't know, we were the first club to do the birthday dance ever we started that shit.
Yeah.
People took that from us.
Yeah.
We started the birthday dance, and we used to have bras come on in, and nigga, it would be off the chain. Oh, it was crazy. And then everybody bit from us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In town. So, we just, it was a good time, man. It was a lot of what's the word? It was a lot going on at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
It was like it between Def Jam, Fat Tuesdays, it was kind of like the birth of Black Hollywood for comedians.
well, I mean, for those who saw the doc, it pretty much. Let me say this: it wasn't so much the birth. The reason that it came off of Crenshaw was because after the riots, a lot of Hollywood didn't want to go back, didn't want to go down to the hood.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then, and I got to give God credit. He came up with the ideal to come to the store. Nobody had a spot up on Sunset. But the reason that it worked was because the Comedy Store was going under. Missy was still alive, but the Comedy Store was losing money.
And they didn't talk about that in the Comedy Store documentary on Showtime.
Yeah.
They didn't even bring up.
They leave that out.
They didn't even bring up.
We saved the Comedy Store.
I know.
yeah. So,
And people-
say it like
It's
that.
like
Yeah.
Blade-
And everybody
Blade
act
and
like
Marvel.
it didn't happen.
It happened. Yeah. See,
I've seen
yeah.
those videos and I've seen those pictures, and there's no way that you can say that it would still be there.
No, it
Without.
would have it was going down.
Yeah, I like
And what happened was we was averaging 340, 350 every week. I mean, it wasn't a seat in the Comedy Store.
and it's the main room.
The main room.
main room.
And we had from, booths and let me tell you how crazy it was. One night, Isaiah Washington comes to the front door to get in. The guy from
Yeah,
the TV,
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy. He was like, man, y'all know who it is? Like, we was like, nigga, yeah, but nigga, you can't get in. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, nigga, we know who you are. I mean, like, yeah, nigga, it was like that. And we got so big that like LT Hutton, who's my man. So he's a producer, music producer.
Shout out
He's,
to LT.
LT, the one that did
LT,
yeah, All Eyes on Me.
He probably at the Comedy Store right now waiting on the show.
So
Yeah.
LT, he came every week. So I was the one who went to guy and said, yo, we need to do VIP. We got certain dudes that come every week. So LT was VIP. Because LT had come and dropped 2 or 3 G in the corner.
Yeah.
That bitch. I mean, it was just off the chain. So he was VIP. It was certain dudes that were VIP. I was hosting so how I got the host gig one time was this. So I used to always do the warm-up. And so guy got sick one night. And he's like, damn, I can't come, man. I got diarrhea, man. I'm like, you want the host? I'm like, oh shit, I got the host. I ain't never hosted before. You know what I'm saying? And Herb was with us. So Kurt Herb was down with us.
Yeah, promoter.
Promoter
Shout out
Herb.
Herb,
Yeah, so Herb was our
entertainment
promoter.
How was Herb then? Like what?
Nigga, Herb was
37?
now Herb was young. Nigga, we all we all was young, bro. We was young.
Skinny,
Herb was
hungry.
young, skinny.
Herb been out here.
Yeah, so I had the host that night. And I went up there, man, and I was just like, I was nervous all day. But man, I went up there, I did my thing, and people was like, yo, like, people was like, nigga, you only do 10 minutes. Like, nigga, you funny, like that. But my whole thing is, and I'm gonna say this, I played my position.
Yeah.
People can say what they want. I played my position. I never tried to be bigger than what the situation was.
Right.
So, it was like, but then so what happened was, Guy came back, he was hosting, so whatever. Then what happened was Guy, he got the Kings of Comedy.
Right.
He wound up getting the Kings of Comedy like within a year and a half.
Yeah.
So I was the main host. And then after that, he started getting movies. So literally after the first year and a half, I was the dude. Wow. Like it was people come up calling me Guy. Like, hey, Guy. I'm like, nigga, my name is Dan. They're like, oh, nigga, we see because his name was on the bill.
Yeah.
But Guy was out of town. You know what I mean? He did what he was supposed to do. He was out there. And I did what I was supposed to do. I held it down. So that's why I'm going back to that night with Eddie Griffin. So Eddie Griffin is on. Everybody know Eddie likes to drink wine and shit like that. So Eddie was on stage, and there was these 2 white girls in the front. Man, Eddie just tore them up. I mean, you bitches shouldn't be alive. Oh,
damn.
nigga.
Yeah.
Like he was just going in on them to the part where they got up and left.
Damn.
Now you gotta imagine they front row
Yeah.
at a black comedy night with 300 and some people. So people looking at them, and you know how some black people are.
Right.
Oh, bye, motherfucker. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah.
By the time the show was over, Guy had heard about it in Florida. He was shooting the movie Ride.
Oh,
So guy called me. He called me. I said, yo, what's up, guy? He said, yo, he said, don't put Eddie on until I get back. I said, okay. And this is the kind of, see, motherfuckers don't know. I had a whole court.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a lot. And I'm gonna share that part of the story with you, and we can keep moving. But so about 2 weeks later, Eddie Griffith came up. He came up with Freeze, David Banks, God rest his soul. That was my man, one of the funniest comedians and writers ever.
Yeah.
Old head, and a couple other people. So Eddie said, yo, damn, yo, can I go on? I said, Ed, let me holler at you in the back real quick. So you know, they got that double room back in the. So I said, yo, Ed, I said, man, yo, I can't put you on, man, because the shit went down really right now. He said, all right. So at first he's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Like that. I said, all right. So we walk back out. And the minute we walk out, he go, man, these motherfuckers won't put me on. I'm like, oh, nigga.
Man, just
And
told
then
everybody.
so then them dudes was like, yo, man. So then David Banks said, God rest his soul, that was my man, but I had to say what I said. He said, well, man, what are you guys trying to censor people? I said, man, I said straight, I said, man, I don't know the fuck y'all talk about, but he can't go on.
Yeah.
That's just how I said it.
Yeah.
So niggas rolled. And then, so me and Eddie would see each other. He kind of would grit on me. I'm like, oh, fuck. And then, so this 2 weeks later, me and Freeze Love came up there. And me and Terrence, you know, Terrence, which was Guy Boy from St. Louis, we was holding it down. So we was in the back counting money up and shit like that. And get a knock on the door. Yo, say, yo, what's up? I said, yo, hold on for a second.
Yeah.
And then Freeze yelled through the door. He goes, yo, Terrence. And I said, and I was real cool. I said, hold on, Freeze. Cause we had a gang of money out.
Yeah.
So Freeze opened the door and I said, yo, what's up, Freeze? He said, man, fuck you. Yo, Terrence, can I go on? I said, God damn. They're like that, what?
Damn.
Like, yeah. So I said, what? He said, fuck you. So I said, so I stood up. I said, so after the second fuck me, I was like, all right, nigga, I got to find out what's cracking.
Yeah.
So we go out to the other part. I said, man, what's up? He said, yo, what's up, cuz? I said, yo, come on, nigga. I ain't into all that gang shit. What's up? And Herb was there. So Herb said, man, y'all be good, man. Y'all be cool. I was like, oh. So we left. And the funny thing about it, Freeze came back. He apologized for that night. You know, he apologized. He's going through, me and Freeze cool. That's my man, you know. But so then what happened was working around town, Danny Green, I'm catching heat.
Yeah.
But I'm holding down the fort. So then when Guy came back in town, we went to the Improv one night and we ran into Eddie. And then Guy called Eddie the corner. He said, yo, Eddie, man, that was my call. I had to talk to you. And Eddie said, nah, we good, blah, blah. So that's how me and Freeze, And then,
Cleared it up.
yeah. Oh, yeah, we solid. And then Corey came and, Corey come to town. So we put Corey on last. So I said to him, I said, yo, my man, I said, yo, we got 15 minutes. Do 15. So Corey's like, all right. So he get on stage. You know, and Corey always been funny.
Yeah.
And that's my nigga to this day. He'll tell you the story. So I go, he's on stage. And I said, well, yo, we got to light him. So, we put the big clown face on in the back. This nigga still rolling. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, nigga. And looking, he said, so he's still doing it. So finally, he killed the crowd. No, but the nigga did about 25, 30.
Right.
Yeah.
So when he got off the stage, I go to him when Herb was there. I said, yo, my man. I said, yo, man, I thought I told you, man, I want to need you to do 50 minutes, right? So he goes, man. He said, man, who's these motherfuckers right here talking on this shit? Who these niggas out here? So I looked at him and I said, hey, Herb, you better tell him.
Yeah.
Asked Herb, I said, you better tell him something. And I left. And then Corey came back 2 weeks later and said, oh, nigga, somebody told me you used to box. I said, yeah. And then, he said, oh, you want to sneaky? Because people didn't know I boxed for a long time.
Yeah.
And when I used to do, what it was is, they used to think I was being, I don't know, vain, but, every time before I go on stage, I was shadow box because I'd be nervous. You know what I mean? So people like,
You still do that.
I still do it, yeah. And it's not a vain, it's a nervousness thing, just like, every time I would get ready to fight. Yeah. So, but me and Corey cool. But people don't know, man. I went through a lot that I knew about Fat Tuesday. People don't know because comics, and then I'll give it back to you, Trey. It happened with Spanky. You know Spanky Hayes?
Yeah, Spanky Hayes. Yeah.
That's my nigga. Shout out to Spank. So one time Spanky, he called me up. He said, yo, Dan, we on the show together out here somewhere. We was on the show. Spank didn't have a car. This is how long ago. So I said, yo, what's up, Spank? He said, yo, I need a ride. I said, all right, man, I got you. I'll give you a ride. So I picked him up, and we driving to the show and talking and laughing and asked him, one thing I don't do cap. I don't have to lie about nothing. So right in the middle of the conversation, he stopped. He said, man, you a cool dude. So I go, where'd that come from? He said, the comics be killing you at the Comedy Store. Niggas, I know all the haters.
Yeah.
I know niggas that was talking about me.
So just give us a quick 5 comments.
Nah, I don't.
He said, drop his name. Who you talking about?
you know what, man? I never been like.
Give us the,
You know
give
what,
us the
Chico?
initials.
You know why? You know why I ain't never been in the middle of nothing, man? Because as much as I talk, I don't talk a lot. People think I talk a lot. I talk about what I think you should hear. But you'll never. You don't. I don't have no rep. No one can say that I ever fucked anybody over out here. Did someone dirty? They can't say I talked about the name. Because if I got beef with you, I'm going to you. We're gonna clean it up, and then I keep it pushing.
Well, you
That's
know,
noble.
when it comes to I'm sorry, go ahead, Pop.
I said that's noble. Not a lot of cats will do that.
Yeah.
If you have beef, they don't know how to squash it, and sometimes it's just a simple misunderstanding about somebody said something, and they never get together and talk about that shit.
And then you know when they say somebody says something, that means they done went through 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the
So
one that you heard about,
it been
you don't never go
filtered.
because you don't mess with them like that. And,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you got a misunderstanding for you.
And you know when it come to comedy and when it come to getting on that stage and you can't get on that stage, oh man, that you talk about creating an enemy on a when you walk into a packed house,
Man.
especially on the most cracking
Night,
night
yeah.
in Hollywood,
Right.
In the
where-
country.
where they know
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
and
this
you can't get
stage
on.
time, because people talk about Hollywood now, how it's a privilege to be on the stages. You know, it could change your life, but back then,
No, it really could because
it really
because
could. Yeah.
agents and managers used to come out. Because I was there the night Guy got American History X.
Yeah.
I was the night when they came to look at him at the Comedy Store.
Yeah.
You know, so it was people that always there, you know what I mean? But the thing about what comics don't understand is especially these newer comics, but even back then, it wasn't as bad because they understood. Nigga, if you get bumped, you get bumped. Nigga, you ain't got no name, they not coming to see you. When I used to be at the Comedy Act, and they might be like, okay, Dannon, you on next. I had one eye on the stage, and one on the door. Like, okay,
like,
hopefully this nigga Chris Tucker don't come to this nigga tonight. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. You know, and be like, hey man, oh nigga's over.
Yeah.
Ain't no, you ain't, you know,
Bring him up right now.
Yeah,
And look, and
But
when they
here's the
would
thing-
come in, they wouldn't wait. They would bring them up.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know, nigga.
right.
You wouldn't even know. I mean, it'd be times you be walking, and come on this stage, just do it funny how you walking, Chris Tucker.
Oh yeah, right before
You
you
know-
think you next on the list.
Yeah, they'll bump you.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's people don't understand. I mean, I caught a lot of shit in the beginning. That's why I do more podcasts so people can know more about me because, like for instance, I was on my way to do the Bay Area competition one time with my boy Thomas Ward. That's my man.
Ward.
And this brother named Delane. He don't do comedy anymore, but this guy named Delane. So we were driving up to the Bay, man, and we another like the same thing almost with Spank. With Spank's situation was I was like, why? He said, man, because I mean, nigga, I got a job to do.
Yeah.
But when we were driving to the Bay Area, it was funny. So Ward and I, we going up there. So Thomas, my man, he was keeping honey. He said, with Dan, you know, I tell you, with D Green, they say you stuck up anyway. I said, why they say that? I said, well, man, you won't never be hanging out with nobody and all that. I said, nigga, I got a job. Bro, I used to work for Federal Express for 7 years. Bro, I had to be at work at 7:00 in the morning from the Valley downtown. Deliver, work 12 hours. I would leave there. People that work with me would tell you, I used to take my clothes to the job, shower at the job, go to the Comedy Act or any club in town for 3 to 5 minutes, be there till 10, 11 at night to get on stage, then get in my car, drive back to the Valley, to drive back to LA at 7 in the morning. I said, nigga, I can't be out getting high with these motherfuckers. And everybody thought I was, you know what I'm saying? So I
He was
quit.
responsible.
Well, that culture is still like that to this day.
Yeah, and like you say, you had that spot at the you know what I'm saying, in the Fat Tuesday, so they like, he bougie.
Yeah, and I mean, I already know. I know the situation, you know what I'm saying? And it's deeper. I won't get all into that, but I know a lot. But my thing is that, you know, I stood on what I said. When I came out here, I stood on my principles. I said, I don't want it bad enough where I'm going to fuck up my morals. I'm not going to do nothing. You know, I sleep good every night.
Right.
Yeah.
And I ain't fucked nobody over.
Yeah.
So people can say what they want about me. They can say, but niggas that know me, that really sit and talk to me, they go, oh, yeah, they know I'm solid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why for me, and things, you know, in my career is moving. I got a lot of stuff, like even with my documentary, motherfuckers, you know, I went to motherfuckers for help. Niggas ain't help me.
Yeah.
I had some good years with my commercial, took my commercial money and met a nigga from the Bay.
Wow.
And the nigga said, yo, I got you.
Wow.
And went in with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's about keeping, you gotta have some type of, a lot of people don't. A lot of motherfuckers act like it and I see it. You know, niggas be acting cool, but be talking about a nigga, but when that nigga come, they cheesing in their face, and then they on the road, and I'm like, you niggas ain't solid.
To be honest, like that's kind of like the LA thing, to know but not know. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all of us probably know some stuff that we'll never say because you know what I'm saying, but you know it, so you just never say it. So sometimes it can be in a different atmosphere where it's like,
right.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you know, man, it's like, man, I mean, think about it. We're all out here. You guys have been on the road. We've all been on the road with someone big. You know what I mean? Like, I've been on the road with DL a number of times. You know, you, Joe, everything. The thing is, people don't understand. Let me put it this way. We should understand, because we in the game, nigga, what it takes to try to make this shit. So why am I one thing nobody can say it. I never hated on nobody who got shit.
You know, sometimes people like to have beef. They like to have something on you. So they use that bad energy.
Motivation.
Yeah, that's bad motivation. Some people like that conflict because they have something on you and they just never clear it up. Like, I never understood that. Like,
real quick, what I want to know to shift a little bit is what was the time or the how much time from like a new comedian just moving to LA? How much time would it take for them to have got on Fat Tuesdays? If they just walked to the club, hey, what's up? My name is Trey, Elliot. I just moved here from Jersey in DC by way of DC or DC by way of Jersey, and I'm funny.
Right.
What can I do to get on?
And we would and of what now, guy may tell you differently. Yeah. I know when people would come to me, I go, yo, what's up, man? You good? All right, man. You perform for where you at? I will. I look here, man. This is what we're gonna do. You know, tell me where you performing, and we'll take a peek at you or whatever. But a lot of the comics back then we knew.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to how it's done now, but we gave motherfuckers opportunities.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, you know what, man? Yo, this dude, he seemed cool. All right, nigga, you do the first spot. You know what I mean? But, nigga, I was there when Cat went on and bombed. I was there when Rodney had a tough show. You know what I mean? Like, I was there. Rodney Perry.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was there when Cat was there. I was there when Bob Saget went on. You know, and funny story is, I was the first one to bring Mike Epps up here. Mike Epps wasn't getting, he'll tell you, nobody was giving him no PT around town. And I was hosting. So Mike wanted to go on. He said, yo, can I go on last? Said, yeah, we got you. You know, like that. Mike went on last. And Mike killed the room, right? And this is how I got an agent. So at the end of the show, I used to always come up, shake hands at the end of the shows with people in the crowd, stuff like that on stage. Mm-hmm. So these two people came up to me and they said, hey, excuse me, the last guy. I said, who, Mike? They said, yeah, does he have an agent? I said, Mike? I said, yeah. I'm like, sure, this nigga got an agent, you know what I mean? I said, why, y'all agents? They said, yeah. I said, hey, I need an agent. They go, you ain't got an agent? Like, motherfuckers, you know, and I'm like, no. Them niggas signed me the next day.
That's the type of stuff that I don't think, like, it just don't happen.
It won't happen no more, bro, because
not like that.
And it's dudes out here, man. Like I said, like I'm not saying to come on y'all show. Y'all know, y'all two are my favorite. Y'all niggas know that, you know. And so because of that, it's like a situation where if I could help somebody, I'ma help them. But the problem is with the way that it is with social media and everything now, and even later. See, people knew that. See, so now the club owners, their attitudes are different towards you.
Yeah.
They know they can be like, well, nigga, you ain't gonna go on, or to promoters, and you know you need that spot. So now you kissing ass to try to get on. Yeah. They're not showing you no love. But back then, see, managers and agents, people was out because that's when Black Hollywood, that's when black movies was getting big.
That's what
you know what I'm saying? So like I booked a gig I booked some shit and out of Miami, you know, I had people come up to me. I booked a movie that the dude fucked the money up that was going to be big. From he fucked the money up.
Dude messed the money up.
You know, nigga.
Who was this dude that messed the money up?
The thing about his head.
The movie was going to be hot, man. The movie had a number of people in it. And you remember the Players Club?
Yeah.
Remember the black dude that was in Players Club, the gangster Larry?
Yeah.
That dude, dark motherfucker, the gangster nigga. He's a real motherfucking pimp nigga.
Okay.
He was, right? And that was my man. And him and I was in the movie. It was a movie shot in New Orleans, man. Cool Bubba Ice was gonna be in the movie.
Shout out
we
Cool
down,
Bubba
like,
Ice.
bruh, we down in New Orleans, man. This nigga fucking up the money, nigga. Just fucked up
messed
the
up
whole
the money.
messed up the whole money movie.
Yeah.
But like Chico said, back then you could get discovered.
Yeah.
And a lot of people did.
You know, yeah, because you know,
And
and
the show.
and that Def Jam, the first 2 years of Def Jam, if you did Def Jam, you made it. And the history shows the stuff from Bellamy to Joe to everybody that did it. Chris Tucker, everybody that did the first 2 years. If you did that first year of Def Jam, you probably a superstar now.
Minus Evan Anthony.
Yeah. But then Comic View helped people like Sid and all them motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Because I was there with Sid the first night. Got the autographed picture from Sid still at my house. You know. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about that, and like for people like at our level, because I started comedy in 02.
Right.
Right. It's like y'all niggas still eating off of that 90s 2000 money.
Ain't that something?
And I'm like, yo,
Yeah, that's right.
and which is all good, but sometimes I'm like, hey, y'all niggas don't want us to chill.
Because like from 2000 on up, like it's like pockets of like a Lil Rel, maybe a Tiffany Haddish, but like prior to that, it was flocks of y'all getting deals. Now it's
But
like
It's
and also
residuals.
and
They
also
all got
Still
residuals.
touring.
Yeah.
Brew.
and also this that any new show they would always call the OGs back. Like all of them.
Yeah.
Even
Like
with
well,
the touring.
and
Even
you-
with the touring.
And you gotta remember a lot
Mario.
of and you gotta remember a lot of Jamario.
that's you. You're today's Jamario.
Nigga, you kinda look like that nigga.
You look like that
Pimp
nigga.
hairstyle though, didn't he?
Nah, that nigga had I remember, man.
forgot what
But he
you
was
said.
actually
voice.
cool. Yeah,
Nah, he was funny though.
Yeah, but you know, the funny thing about it was, back then, people worked at it. Like nigga, one week, my boy Deacon Allen, I don't know if he's still alive. He was a cool dude. We made a bet. We like, let's see how many times we can go on in 1 week. I went on 1 week in LA 11 times. He went on 13.
That would never happen right now.
Man,
No, it's
that's a hat trick like a mother.
No, not
No. Hear what I'm saying? They really don't have that many spots, and definitely black spots. See,
Dog,
it's you know.
Like
I
everybody
can't
had a
even
room back
name
then?
11
Everybody,
Like everybody had a room.
I can't even name 11 rooms.
Yeah, it's not with
Okay,
that.
all you got is Flabbers, Haha, Factory,
Chateau.
Store,
The Chateau.
Improv.
the Chateau Improv. That's 7. You can't.
But you can't even get in on them.
I'm just saying you can't get 11 no more. That's what we're saying. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, I went up 11 times 1 week because people had little rooms around town, and then you know, and back then you didn't care. Back then you had like Mavericks Flat.
Yeah,
You know,
Black.
and that was the turning point. Actually, I'm gonna say that was the turning point of my career.
The Townhouse.
Mavericks Flat.
Okay.
But you know
Townhouse
what?
was big, huh?
When I came out in 2015, like Maverick Flats was still, it was popping, right? It feels like from now to 2015, it's less.
Well, it wasn't
It's less
popping because
black.
J. Anthony Brown wasn't hosting it. See, when you gotta remember when
yeah,
when it was
When I
cracking.
did it, Michael Collier was
Yeah, but when it was
Collier.
when it was
Mike.
cracking,
Yeah,
that's when J. Anthony Brown had it. That's when they said J. Anthony Brown's like he's the funniest dude in the country. That's when Jay started getting hot. But I'm gonna tell you the story what happened with me and him. So I used to go to the Mavericks Flat, and they had 2 shows, packed the fuck out. Like if a fire ever broke out, it would be on the news. 800 niggas died, over a cigarette being drunk. It was only one way in and one way out the back. You know what I mean? So I used to beg J. Anthony Brown, man, can I get on stage? And he was like, So finally one time he goes, all right, you can go on. Now you can remember I'm coming from the Midwest, even though I'm from Philly, but I'm coming from the Midwest. 6 years in the Midwest. It was summertime. I had some white sandals on, a jumpsuit, a tiger jumpsuit.
Killed this nigga.
Right, with shorts.
Damn.
I went on that motherfucker. I bombed, nigga.
It's worse when you bond with a bad outfit.
But yeah, the outfit.
It's worse when you bomb and J. Anthony Brown coming behind you.
Oh
He gonna
man.
smoke you, yeah.
30 minutes.
Just to be honest, I don't care what part of history you say. If you start off with white sandals in any part of history,
You gonna get talked about.
Toe up.
Why he said he started with white sandals.
Oh yeah. That
Hey.
White sandals, y'all like.
Hey,
quick,
go ahead.
Dannon, a question
Medieval times.
from Tone. He said, Dannon, who's a comic that did Def Jam in the first season that you were sure would blow but didn't? That's a good question.
If it's the first year that I thought it would be either Hamburger or Shucky Ducky. I think they had did Def Jam. I think Hamburger did it that year. Bellamy, we kind of knew Bill. When I saw Bill's set, we knew it because he had that one joke. Talk about you ever drive somewhere and you kind of remember you had some sex there. It was some kind of joke.
The booty call. That's the booty call joke.
Yeah, exactly.
Booty call joke. They made a whole movie about that.
So I kind of, you kind of knew certain dudes. Bernie Mac, you knew he was gonna make it because when he said, "I ain't scared, you motherfucker," the music start. You know what I'm saying? But it was some dudes that, you thought was going to.
Hamburger was on the first.
I thought he was, but maybe not.
He was funny though. He killed.
No, he was good. But I'm saying in terms of if what Tony's saying is like,
To the level,
like to the
now where they now
level.
type
You know what I'm
thing.
saying?
Yeah.
But but I think anybody when we saw Chris, I think everybody knew Chris was going to do it when when Chris Tucker was going to when he did it.
Yeah.
And
When Faison was on the first season.
I think Faison was on it. Yeah, but see when I came out, Faison had just did Baby Kids. And I was mad.
Faison was on Baby again?
He was the voice.
He was the voice of Robin Harris.
He was Robin Harris' voice.
Robin Harris?
Yeah.
You didn't know that yet?
And the funny thing is, people used to say I could act like that. I would sound like Robin Harris sometime. So I was mad. I was like, damn, I wish I could have been here to audition for. Not that I would have beat him because he had the name.
You never know, right?
Yeah, but no, it was a lot of dudes, man, that that just came up. But the game it's different. I mean, like in life, everything changes. But I think what's happening now in the comedy game is it's starting to come back with the public because the public is getting tired of the $50, $60, $90 for a ticket, and you give me 5 minutes of material, then you go, hey, so how you niggas doing? No, nigga, I need some jokes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what? It's like from state to state. That's why you have 5 to 10 big names. Because certain people like certain people, so that's how you get the crowd, and that's why they are willing to pay that price. Because like you say, I mean, and I'm just throwing names out, like Jess Lurie, somebody people come see with Jess Lurie, somebody come see DC Young Fly, so that's why they having that bulk lineups.
Yeah, but again, like for instance, but that's why the old heads are eating off the money because they're, I've been on the road with DL, and this nigga's a rock star. I've seen it.
He gonna eat
You know what I'm saying? Like,
So we on the road.
and Tony, I mean, but and you can go on with some names and you can say, oh, they just a name. But when you go on and you walking in the club, and like when I did this year, I did 2 dates with DL, and it was like, I'm going on this motherfucker, and it's packed. And then, we had to add a show, a matinee show. Oh, hey, cool. And then and you see how this dude is, it's not,
received.
Received, right. It's not no new school received. It's motherfuckers like, okay, this nigga's been funny he's a vet.
He's a vet.
He's really good at his craft.
Yeah.
I have a question for all of you guys, actually.
Yeah.
So which time period do you think you guys prefer more? Because kind of like what you were saying about like the Def Jam era, you have gatekeepers. You have a lot more casting directors and producers that are involved in picking the talent versus now, really it's just going viral. No gatekeepers involved, but that can change your life overnight. Which one do you guys
I
prefer?
disagree with you, though. But go ahead.
There's no tastemakers.
And I've had
I already
this
know what he's
debate.
gonna say.
I had this debate with A-listers. I actually had this debate with one time I had a conversation with Jamie Foxx and we was talking about this, and he was just like, he think this generation now in comedy got it easier than how they had it.
Right.
And I was like, that's bullshit.
I don't think so.
I so wish I was doing comedy in the 90s. Even if I was 10 in 1990, I just wish I was
Right.
Shopping.
Because I always tell people now, if I started in the 90s, I would be on. And if I had the opportunity to do Def Jam, like with like if the material I got now, if I had, or even the material when I first started, when I got funny, if I had any of that in the 90s, even the early 2000s, because I started in 2002. No, so fuck it, the 90s. I'd be on.
Yeah. See,
I would be on.
Go ahead, Joe.
Here's the thing. I agree with you because it's so easy to get saturated and lost today. Whereas if you had real talent back then, somebody was going to find you.
Right.
Because they actually came out and saw you perform. You just said that.
Mm-hmm.
You said they would come, okay, let me come check you out. Agents and people that was coming out. So you actually had industry in the rooms.
And they would, and sometimes they would go see somebody else.
And then they would see you.
But the difference with
I think that does still happen.
Well, the difference with that is this, though. Here's one thing about that part. back in the day, when an agent came to see you, they came to see you. So
right.
you knew when the agent was in the house. You always knew when the agent was in the house.
Right.
Because these niggas came in, whether they main agent or the assistant agent most of the time, they were suits. You know, they would come in with
It was
suits.
agency.
They had to look. And it was like,
in the house.
but what people don't know is they would, here's the deal. So if Chico was third going up, right? So they would get there and they watch the first two comics and then Chico. And then when Chico got off, they leaving.
Hell yeah.
They're not staying
They're not
around.
staying for
the
So
show.
the only way you could get a look.
You better go before the.
So
first-
that happened to me with Coco Brown. Her agency had came out to see her, and I went on before at the Laugh Factory.
Yeah.
And dismantled the motherfuckers. And they came to me like, "You're funny," and it was called Elevate, the agency Elevate.
Yeah.
They came to me and said, but if I went on after Coco, they would have never saw me.
Wow.
I disagree only in one part. Back then it wasn't gatekeepers.
Right. I don't.
And this-
I was about to say that too.
No, let me tell you why. It's more now, I believe. Let me tell you why. Because back then, there were so many projects. There were so many, especially black projects. And white boys was going for black dudes. You gotta remember, we ain't had no social media. So you only had two main cities in the world, in the world to see the comics. That was New York or LA. So that's why we used to say back in the day, your career don't start till you move to LA. That's the first thing. So then what happens is now you could be anywhere. You could be the Laugh Factory, the Improv. They may get, or if they heard about you. So then what would happen was, like Joe manager would call us up. Hey, you think we can give see Joe at Fat Tuesday for 10 minutes? Now here's the deal. It wasn't about Joe. A lot of times they want to see how the crowd responded to him. See what I'm saying? It ain't about, they already know if you funny.
Yeah.
But they want to see what the crowd was.
They want to see you in real time.
Right. So that's why people would want to be on. You know, like, yo, I got some people that want to see me. So they want to see you there, and they want to see how people respond to you.
Yeah.
In terms of gatekeepers, there was more projects back then. See, now the internet. So I'm an agent. I'm lazy. 50,000 followers. Half 2 million followers. Oh, okay. Motherfucking, no disrespect to none of the people that do the skits and shit, but you got 2 million followers, they're gonna go with you. But now, eventually at some time you're gonna have to prove who you are.
Don't you think it's
But hold on, Chico, what did you decide?
I agree with Trey. I would rather be in the era where an agent can come and pretty much pull you
Yeah.
out. Because this is what I'll say too, and Trey noticed from being in DC. Man, when it's all fire comedians, man, your shit be fire.
Yeah.
Because you like, man, I got going next. And you know what I'm saying? So I think like in that era, the competition will make me rise to the occasion.
Plus, Chico, if they came to see you and they liked you, they're not bullshitting.
Hey, see,
They're not
exactly.
trying to find a spot to park on Sunset. They walk through this crowd. No, they coming to see you. And then if they like you, nigga, prior to the next day, you gonna and see that back then. That's when they had holding deals and shit. So we used to
develop
so we
deals.
used so we used to all try. That's why I want to work for. Nigga, hope I can get a holding deal with Warner Brothers.
Because you don't
Paramount.
care what happened after you get the whole.
Well,
I mean, you hoping,
you get that money.
turn this up.
You get that money.
but Chico, the holding deal really meant you was gonna probably get something.
Right.
See, back then, it was a what is your point of view? That used to be what comedy was about. That's how. And then when you did your stand up, your special, anybody that did a special was getting a TV show. Was getting a TV show.
Or late night.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Right,
the
they would
bulk of them was
definitely
getting
get a
TV
Because
show.
back then, your
Or
set,
if you did late
your
night, you
set
would
was
get
going
a
to be your
show.
show.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, because
Like, your
because
set
it was only HBO. Showtime really wasn't even cracking really then. It was HBO. Everybody wanted to get an HBO special. That's why you either did a one-man show at the HBO house down here in LA, or you would,
get that half hour comedy special.
Netflix now. I mean, that's really Netflix took.
Well, but see, it's Netflix,
Took HBO spot.
but it's Netflix, but no disrespect, because I want to get a Netflix special, but not everybody supposed to get one.
Yeah.
Like, but here's the deal, man. You can't. One thing, and I thank God for this. I've never hated on what somebody got. I don't ever pray, and I'm gonna tell y'all that if you ever do that, don't. because you don't know what God has in store for that person.
I'm gonna be honest.
Pray for
You
some
should not hate on
demise.
nobody, but have I privately hated?
Yeah, but
Without
I
nobody
think-
knowing?
But let me tell
think
you,
we all
but,
have.
yeah, but let me tell you why you shouldn't hate. You know why you?
Yeah, that's keep it in the
Yeah,
front.
yeah, but let me tell you why you shouldn't hate.
Yeah.
Back on this 10 times.
Okay, let me tell you why. You can't hate on a man that's trying to do the same thing you doing and made it.
Right.
This nigga is showing you. If I see that he made it, I know I can make it. See, when I saw motherfuckers coming up, I knew. See, the thing with me, I delayed my acting because I said, and trying to get an agent. I said, I came in 92, but I said, I'm not even going to try to get an agent until I get funny. I didn't get an agent till 96, 97. But I purposely did it. Now,
How many years of comedy had you been in the game at that point?
6 years, right?
I started in 91, but I say LA 92, so that's 5 years.
Okay.
But I wasn't really, even then, man, back then it was really comedy. See, if niggas call
stand-up
themselves
was opening
comedy,
the door.
if niggas call them
see-
comics now, they're not comics.
But see, that's
Right.
the real true stage comedian's dilemma now is that you used to be fighting against every comic from your state or from other states, but now you fighting with Spice Adams. Like, you know what I'm saying? You fighting with so many
Yeah,
people who
somebody
you-
that's doing pranks in Walmart.
But guess what though?
Yeah.
They can
But-
mess around and sell out the Ontario Improv. And I'm just saying, so it's like a lot of dates go to people
You
who
got-
not comics at this point.
You got to have the balls.
happens a lot.
You got to have the balls.
No knock on Spice Adams.
Yeah, but you got to have the fortitude and the patience to ride your wave out. And that's what most motherfuckers don't have. Because you're not going to get it overnight. And I've seen, let me tell you why I coasted. Because I've seen niggas be big and be right down with me. I've seen it. I've seen niggas get here. No scandal, no nothing.
I guess give it
And come right back there.
Just give it two quick. I'm just,
Yeah, I don't do, yeah.
I
You
know
know,
what
Tone
but
says,
yeah.
Chico, if you believe that you were in the company of fire comics in the 90s, that you'll be better because of the level of competition, then you need to remove yourself from the comics you're around in 2024 because clearly they aren't motivating you.
You know what? I think Tone, you heard it wrong. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like I would do more in the 90s. I'm just saying that like now, like all of us work on our sets. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I know Trey work on this set. I work on my set, and I'm just saying that now, like. A lot of us just don't get a lot of stage time.
You don't get the reps.
Right, but and I'm saying back then, like even in DC, but when Trey and them left, like you was getting reps. So
But you gotta
I'm
re-
not saying that I would have been a better comic back
Right.
then because of the competition, but I just would think because of what you can get. You know what I'm saying? Even though you can get it now too, but I'm just back then you saying it like it was so close that it's like
And back then there was
Yeah,
and back then I feel like the whole lineup would be a lot of fire comedians.
Well, go ahead,
Now
Joe.
you
Go ahead,
to
Joe.
Laugh Factory, you'll see 2-3 people stinking it up.
Yes.
and
Right,
you
right,
like,
But
right.
I'm gonna say
Not me
after
though,
Joe.
Trey.
not you.
Yeah. After Joe goes, I'm gonna tell you what
I was
that
going to
is.
say this because I got to go do an earthquake show. But
Look at this nigga.
yeah. I got to do I
Drop-
can name
hold on,
drop
my
too.
feet hurt. Nigga dropping names and shit. Oh, shit.
You know I'm a name dropper.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
that, right?
you
but-
already went to Jamie Foxx.
Go ahead.
But like what you were just talking about, like if you surround yourself with monsters on the stage, even if any opportunity that you get like that, no matter the outcome, they see you, you see them, and you see what you need to aspire to
Yeah.
is getting your weight up. And if you get a spot where people are getting bumped or your spot is getting bumped and you have all these monsters on there and they come up to you and they say, look, do you still want to go up?
Right.
After all, like Mike Epps, Leslie Jones.
Look me up.
So
Put me up.
even if you know that you're the lesser man, you still have to you gotta get that heat check. You gotta see where you stand.
Well,
because and let me
Go
say
ahead,
this,
Joe. No, go ahead.
Because if you have to follow a monster and you don't have that status and you say, okay, no, I'm not gonna go after that. Nigga, no, that you are killing your chances to be seen amongst the greats.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
never duck
Like,
no
well,
stage.
Like you don't do that. Like even if I say it, nigga, I had to follow Leslie Jones at the J Spot one time. I felt like for a second, man, I probably shouldn't
You
attend
already
that.
started off wrong.
No. I'm talking about after I went up. After I know, I said I want to see, but I was like, man, I felt that heat.
Tough.
I had
It was tough, but see, I know what it feels like. Now I know. Look, you got to be able to follow somebody, and you got to be able to be the person that can't nobody follow.
So that happened to me real quick. On first thing on Chico's part, and I understand what Tony is saying, but here's the difference back then. It wasn't saturated the way it was.
Right.
There's so many people that say they're comedians now.
Saturated with what?
It's just comedians.
Comic, yeah.
Just comics, I'm saying.
Niggas
In
doing
general.
comedy.
I mean,
I'm just saying, like saturated with like
with niggas
beasts.
doing comedy now.
no, it's not saturated really with Beast. It's
No,
saturated.
and I think that's the point now. You could see a show and see like multiple people on that show. You like, yo, how the
Because you got people that did one good clip that went crazy,
Right.
And they're
Yeah.
putting
Okay.
them on.
But that's what I'm trying to say.
wild
But what
lineup.
I'm saying is, it's not about the club. What I'm saying is, it's so saturated that you can put your phone on and you can watch stand up all the time.
Yeah.
So what happens is the public is not the public.
numb.
They're not
Well, they numb to it. So they
Desensitized
and now what
to
they
bad
think,
comedy.
yeah, and now they're thinking actually that's it. They're like, oh, he's funny because he had a 1 minute clip of getting turned down by a chick.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And let me say
Also,
this.
Tony's going off on you also on the thing.
well.
On who?
He said anybody can be followed.
I agree 100%.
Hell yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, you have to have
there's
that. I'm talking about that mind. I was talking about that mindset of like you changing the room. You have to be able to bring your set to where they changed the room.
I can't wait.
No,
to
let me
go
tell you what
out.
happened. I'll tell you what happened to me.
Because I went up. I remember one time I went up.
Before me.
I went at the Ha.
Right.
And I had my homeboy. It was probably he was coming from out of town visiting. It was probably his first time really seeing me perform. And Mike Epps went up at the Ha and destroyed it.
Wow.
It was Janet Russo and Ronnie Warner. Janet
Right.
Russo was the night. Ronnie Warner, shout out to Ronnie,
Yeah.
was hosting.
Yeah, I remember Ronnie.
And Mike Epps went up and destroyed, and I was next. I had got bumped.
Right.
I was supposed to go up next. Mike came. Mike went up. Then I was gonna go up next. And my boy, who was kind of there through my birth of comedy, he was in there. And nigga, I tell everybody, I honed my skills in DC, in the DMV.
Right.
There's nobody I'm afraid to go after.
Right.
No.
After I had started,
Right.
after I had to go up after Willie Robo, you know what I mean, in DC, who used to just
Beast the
kill
stage, yeah.
in DC and slay.
Right.
Like, so when after Mike destroyed it, I was like, yo, let's go. I was like, I'm about to ride the wave. And I went up there after Mike, and when I say Mike blew the roof off.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say I blew it further.
See that?
Well, you know-
that's
and-
where you want. That's
and my-
where you
let-
want
let
to
me-
feel like.
And my
Yeah, let me
boy
tell you what
was
happened to
like-
me.
And my boy was like, fam, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't know what you was gonna do after Mike, and you went up there and destroyed it.
I'm talking
Let me
You're
tell
a
you this.
comic, though. You're a comic.
I'm a comic.
Let me
I had to
tell you
say
the story.
one thing super
Yeah,
fast.
go ahead.
Captain Kirk has ended the group chat. Everybody.
Captain
Captain
Kirk,
Kirk
Jamaican
and
rum bam.
Jamaican rum punch.
You already know I'm in here sipping.
And he had a really good point. He said skits is totally different from doing comedy. They can even hold the stage for 5 minutes, which is kind of what you were talking about.
Right.
So, let me,
So, go ahead, go ahead.
I'm gonna say this so I can get out of here. So
Oh yeah, Dan. Then you have some more time.
Oh, no, I'm good.
say this. So
I'm good.
on Captain Kirk's point, where you have people that are doing skits and they're doing these 1 minute clips,
Yeah.
and they getting dates. I think you brought up like I don't know. I've never heard of Spice Adams getting club dates, but people like that.
Trust me, they are.
Okay,
Funny
but-
Marco,
They getting club dates.
all these.
Funny Marco's funny, though.
You talking
Funny
about
Marco.
lately or like within the last couple of years?
All right, hold on.
Anyway,
Funny Marco was funny for
My generation.
Here's the thing, man.
But-
Let me tell you, all the shit that these niggas is doing, I used to do every day in college.
Yeah, I feel that.
I used to cut a fool in public. I go to stores. I would just say shit to random shit to strangers. I'll take a box of condoms and just make a scene and give it to an old white lady. And I just used to do crazy.
That was
shit.
I would pay good money to
everybody.
see that.
but the
though.
point
That was, but I did not have. But that didn't mean that I had talent at that
20
point
minutes
in
of
time.
comedy set.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And
but-
now because of the internet, I'm like, yo, you go from doing pranks in Walmart, which my son could do,
Yeah.
which anybody could do, to, oh, now you're a comedian, now you're a personality.
Right.
It's like
But-
niggas go to school to be personality.
That's a good point.
Here's-
Niggas go to school to do
To learn
X,
how to do
Y,
that
and
shit.
Z, but because the younger generation now, it's just like us coming up. Like when we came up, like me, you, and you, Danny, you probably was watching this shit and like this some bullshit, like our version of Jackass.
Right.
You would see Jackass, and it was these white boys is doing crazy shit.
Oh, they're
Tom
funny.
Green,
They're hilarious.
Tom Green
Tom
was
Green show,
doing
yeah.
crazy shit.
Right.
And it was like, so now that's what everybody is doing. That's why you see everybody now just doing random shit.
But like Aaron just said, he said funny Marco, funny for his era. Because you know why? What we think of is 30 minutes of comedy set is not what the youngest think of as 30 comedy set. Funny Marco can just ask questions and do 30 minutes of just Q&A, and that's funny as shit, and they feel they got their money's worth, but it's
that's not
older,
standard.
it's some older people sitting in the back of the club like, he ain't tell a joke yet.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's what I.
But
that's
it's
what I
still,
was- hold on.
y'all still, exactly. It's still 30 to 40 minutes of like, I got what I thought I was gonna pay for. As of the older, all of us is like, man, he ain't do no set, man. What you talk about?
Right.
But he's
what I was
still getting
asking.
dates though.
That's what I was asking. Don't you think now, like maybe in the past year, the real social media influencers who actually are comedians are actually making themselves known in the clubs? Like, okay, he actually has an act.
They
Well,
are.
yeah,
They are.
because people
because those, like, you know, you go to the club and you see who's coming next.
Yeah.
Like you go to the bathroom, you see, okay, these are like, man, this dude's doing a date. A lot of those people, in my opinion, are starting to fall off because they don't have those acts.
I
Not-
still-
because-
they not
tour-
falling
well,
off.
they not-
They not
here's
falling
the
off.
deal. Here's the deal.
They're not
It's not
falling
that they've
off.
fallen off, but they eventually will.
Well,
Let me
they're
tell
not
you why.
getting booked in the clubs.
Let me tell you
they're
why.
not getting
Because-
booked in the clubs. They're booking
Yeah.
real comedians.
Let me tell you why.
have an act.
Because what eventually happens at clubs, like you got to remember, like as you go around the country, they're going to get dates. They may not get weekends. They might get the date. So they may got the Thursday night or the Wednesday. And I know people that get those, and they still make bank. Like I ain't gonna fuck up. I ain't gonna worry about how you get your hustle on. But you got to remember when you have it, where these clubs are paying you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, depending on who you are, and now you got to sell drinks and you selling food, and then you got the audience. See, the thing is, they may pay for you that one time, but they be like, we can't bring them back.
But Dannon, guess what though? It's audience who leaving them joints and saying, man, that nigga killed.
But they're not getting. But they will never get a special, and that's where I think I meet right in the middle. Where I'm.
Well, no, they
most
may get
people-
a special because some people got a special
I
that
don't-
probably shouldn't have got a
I think when it
special.
comes to a
Is there an
special, you have to
example of
have
that right
jokes.
now today?
I won't say any names.
I mean,
Man, say the name. He got the special, right?
Nah, because
Well, you said he, so you have.
Yeah, so you have it in.
Oh no!
Let me say why though. Let me say why though, because
Pride Month, nigga.
well, the reason that's stupid. They, him, us. The reason that look, there's seasoned guys that have gone on and done specials and bombed. And I'm gonna
Bombed
tell
on
you
their
why.
special?
Well, not done well. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
there's been seasoned dudes that because they so seasoned, they not working at it no more.
They ain't give a fuck.
See what I'm saying? And then you got people that are new in the game and they're getting it. Now, the thing about it is the public, if they're going to buy it, they're going to buy it.
Right.
You can't, you know, if there's a demand for it. But that's why I always tell people, hold your ground, but then make sure you got another hustle going on. Because it's going to be something, Chico, that's going to get you in that position. I tell you, I wholeheartedly believe it because I've been there and I'm there now. And what happens is, like right now, I'm getting more calls. I'm getting more people. I got, you know, and now I'm trying to produce films. So now I'm getting different type of calls that people don't know that I wasn't expecting. But now I'm saying, wait a minute, they're remembering me. That, yo, man, you ain't you that guy? Yeah, whatever. Like. Tubi has been the best thing for me. It's brought back all my old movies I've done on there. People are like, oh, nigga, you was in that. Yeah. So what happens now is you just have to generate another avenue that's going to get you to where you want to go.
Yeah, because I think like, and I talked to a few of the influencers who doing good. I'm not gonna say their names, but we know them. They're comedians.
You can.
Oh, okay. Like I talked to Malik, and I talked to a
Shout out
few
to Malik.
Yeah, shout out to Malik. He killing it. And like, but it's different with Malik because Malik a comic too. He out here in these streets trying to work on his stuff. But I'm just saying, it's like if them skits hit and you gonna get dates.
Yeah.
Now you might not have no set, but it's like, what is a set now?
Let me ask you this
thing.
Let me
What
ask you this
is a
question though.
quote-unquote
Let me ask
set
you-
now?
But here's the question.
I
guess
But here's
you
the
just gotta
question I
be
want to
ready.
ask you. Here's the question. I'm sorry to cut, but I got to ask you all this. Not you, because we're not. I'm asking you this,
Yeah.
but you guys are not like this. But
Right,
this is
right.
what I'm asking you.
Yes.
You have to ask yourself: do you want dates or do you want a career?
That's a good question.
Okay, and can I answer that?
I would definitely like the career. That means a longevity thing.
Right.
I mean,
Dates.
some dates.
That's a front loaded question because
Dates is a career.
if you get enough
Dates
dates,
ain't a career.
Let me say this: if you get enough
You
dates,
did it just that one time.
not one time, like that's not dates. You know what I'm saying?
No,
But
it's not.
if you start to get enough dates, right? Just say for instance, right? He started to get enough dates.
Right.
It might free him up. He might get a marketing team, and they might blow him up. So, but them dates turned into a career. That's all.
But the dates. Let me put it this way.
How
You
you make
have
that
to-
choice? What's the difference between
Right,
the
what's
dates
the
and the career? I guess.
dichotomy right
yeah.
Well, what's the word?
Yeah,
The divide.
You went to Ohio State. You don't know what dichotomy is?
Hey, every now and then
I
I'll.
ain't
Hey,
used the whole
yeah,
vocabulary tonight.
Say, hey, ain't learned that word.
Yeah, I ain't learned that one. Dichotomy. I mean, I know, but you got to slow down so you don't look silly and shit. Now all of a sudden, you niggas want to be English majors up in this bitch.
My vocabulary is
nah.
is
No, but here's
it's crazy.
Aaron.
Right?
no, but here's what I'm saying though is what I mean by dates, I guess, in a career is you can get a date, but are you working on your craft? See, if you got a skit that goes viral and then they go, yo, we want you on there, and then they bring you up there and you not really working on your craft, yes,
Okay.
you may get 2 or 3 dates and you may have 5 or 10 minutes, but what happens after a while, people do talk and they be like, yo, he was good, but
I
you know
want
what
to
I'm
ask you,
saying?
Trey. This.
Go
I
ahead.
want to ask y'all that questions. Okay, you get a skit, you go viral, you getting dates. Isn't them dates rep? And you
Yeah.
working on
See,
your
here's
craft?
the thing for me, but
And now people now you get to work on your craft and get paid as opposed to back in our day.
Right.
We had to work on
Just
our
saying.
craft.
Right.
Like that comedian who just a skitter influencer, he getting dates.
But as
he
long as he
bombing,
working-
but
yeah.
he working on. He,
But see, here's but that's the, you know what? Yeah, hopefully he
he's
ain't
working
bombing.
on. Hopefully he's working on his craft.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
and he's formulating his act to the point where he actually knows what's translating from his.
Yeah.
You know.
Let me tell you what
whatever
happened with
his
me
skits
when I
into his
let me
stand-up.
tell you what happened with me when I was on the road with DL the first time. We came back in town. We did 6 shows, and when we came back in town, we went out to have lunch, right? So when we had lunch, I was like, I told DL 2 things I learned there. I was like, yo, DL, I said, well, after the second show, man, I started feeling it. He's like, no. He
Feeling
said,
what?
no. Like I was getting comfortable.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
because he said, no, you said you did your thing. He said, Dannon, all you missing is reps. It's not even about
now you mean representation?
no reps.
Like you need.
Like here's the thing. Like here's the deal.
Yeah.
I will say this, and I don't get vain, but I know I could be top 10. I know I can. I've been with these dudes. That's what I was going to say. I was going to share the story. The same thing happened with me at the Laugh Factory. I was supposed to go on the Laugh Factory, Chocolate Sunday. So you know how I know you're a great go, Joe. I know Chocolate Sunday. You know how Chocolate Sunday is. First show.
Yeah.
You know, summertime is cracking. I'm about to go on. Chris Spencer's hosting. I'm supposed to go on first. Mike's gonna go on first, and then you're gonna go on. Mike Epps. I'm like, okay. And Mike goes on this motherfucker. It's like, Mike's good for bumping niggas, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Mike did 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. I mean, but ripped it, right? So, and the crowd is going crazy. And then they said, okay, you next. And I went on there and handled it. And I know I did, because Chris Spencer came to me, he said, I didn't think you could follow him.
Yeah.
To me, that was a compliment. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I didn't take it as a slight.
Right.
But
That's honest shit.
yeah, he said, I didn't think you could follow him. Because
you
he
can
had
feel- 'cause
written.
you
That's
can
what
feel
my
it.
boy told me.
But the
Like, I ain't
thing,
think
so
you could-
but the thing is, here's the difference. What we talking about? You gonna get one of these YouTubers that's doing skits and got 10 minutes, and he's on the same show, and then they go ahead and bump you, and you got Quake going on first, and then they go, okay, you going on after Quake. And you got 5 minutes, and so anyway, it's crazy out here. You know what I mean? You know, bro, but it can happen. What I'm saying, it can happen. So what?
ain't gonna let him go behind.
Nope.
No, but you gotta remember.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, but you gotta remember, it can happen. See, like when cause see, when I'm on the road with DL, I know they not there to see me.
Right.
But my thing is to go in there and handle this business. So, and I've had to come to the owners and go, yo, man, well, if you ever come back to town, let us know.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you got to make sure that you first have a headliner that's secure with himself, that doesn't mind having. DL don't care. This nigga, I can't take none of this nigga. This nigga is seasoned, and he's a ripper. Right. You know, it's like with Tony. You know what I mean? You go in there, they're not paying to see you.
Nope.
But your job is
bring it.
But your job, right? But
I usually comp them. Like,
but your job, Trey. But your job is to go there and make it where people at the end of the show go, "I'm gonna follow this dude." Or
yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's how.
So
we do.
these dudes that are getting the dates, yes, they're getting the dates. But after a while, like here's the thing. How you pay your rent? That's the nigga how you pay your rent. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? My thing
can't
is,
be mad at how
I can't get mad.
Yeah. Can't be mad.
But I know, like right now, my whole goal is, you know, because I've always wanted to make movies. So that's where I'm at right now. You know, my hustle is on that, and I know that's going to happen. And trust me, back in the day, that used to be what the move was. As a comedian, even if you wasn't large, see, back in the day, it was reversed. Chris Tucker was funny, yeah, but he didn't get large till he did Fridays. You see what I'm saying? Martin Lawrence was funny, yeah, but then when he got the TV show, see what I'm saying? It was reversed. Now, you can be large off of a viral clip and have no fucking talent.
Yeah.
No.
But see that, but that's why to me it make it hard for this new era because we were just fighting against other comics, but now all of us included, we're fighting against everybody. It's a
mediocrity.
It's a Aunt Sophie who got 100,000 followers for frying chicken, and she gonna mess around and go get a date.
Yeah.
But you know what though? You got to blame. I blame. You know what? But I blame this. I blame the studios and stuff like that because I look at. You know, I look at it now. It's like rap. You know, back in the day,
with the rappers getting the acting job.
well, no, back in the day, if you went and brought Ice Cube's record, American History X, or you got the Fat Boys, or you got LL, nigga, you gonna have 8-9 banging songs. You ain't gonna know which one to go back to. Now, niggas will have one song, and that'll be their tour.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
But
so
That's a good point.
Like one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
Shit, I just lost my.
Kirk also just said something that was really.
And Isabel, read Isabel's first.
Isabel, yeah. Kirk Superfast said, in his opinion, and this is only his opinion, social media influencers are great at hosting a show, and I think that's a good point.
I mean, that's a good point.
And that's what I'm saying.
But you get stage time.
They come up against a better host.
I mean, but what's hosting? I mean, are they really? Is it because they can bag? I mean, see, hosting is a
it
hosting is a skill,
not?
nigga.
Is it stand-up or not?
Hosting is a whole skill.
It's a
different
skill.
skill than
It's a whole.
It is.
And some people can
they move a
do
crowd
that
or
because
not?
they don't have set, so they can naturally just talk and be funny.
Yeah.
Like, and also,
That's
Dannon,
good.
how all of us was going. What they say, you host, then you feature,
Yeah.
then you headline.
Exactly.
So they still on the hierarchy of comedy to a degree.
I
But come on now,
respect. I
Chico.
respect that
Nah,
if
yeah,
But
they're
come on
actually
now,
doing
I don't look
that.
at it like
Some
that.
of them don't.
Show compared to
But see, you've been doing this for over 20 years, bro.
yeah.
Right.
But it doesn't
And I
matter.
remember
Wait,
when I wasn't and I was hosting.
Yeah.
I was kind of like,
You still got to build a consistency in that. There's no getting around that. There is no getting
hold
around
up,
that.
y'all, and I'm saying her.
If you're gonna do stand up at a comedy club, there's no way
The
getting
reason
around.
I disagree with what you're
I
saying.
don't think
Go ahead.
Jess Hilarious can host a funny show. I think
yeah,
she's
she can.
hilarious.
I think she's great. She's fantastic.
Here's the difference, though.
She
definitely can.
she knew.
I don't know. I never
But
really
she
watched.
could've-
I never watched
7 years
no
ago.
more though.
She could right. I
7
agree.
years ago, she
not new no more.
Well, you got to remember.
she not new no
but
more.
here's the difference,
And she
though.
was
See,
doing
here's the
fine.
difference between hosting and hosting, especially when it comes to clubs. In black clubs, the host is the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the host liner.
That's a good point.
See,
That's a good point.
So that's why when you say this,
Man.
I can't really go with that the whole way because see, when you host, a lot of times you're doing your set, you just breaking it down into
Yeah.
a joke and relating it off to maybe what you either talk to the audience or say, yeah, so I remember one night I did, and then you going into being able to have that transition into the next comic.
Right.
White clubs is different.
They don't give a fuck about
They
the
don't
host.
douche time.
They don't
You got
give a fuck about
15
the
up
host.
front,
They-
and then that's it.
And they'll never do, and they won't
That's
think
it.
about
They won't-
doing.
if you do 2 minutes in between, they will not bring your ass back to host.
You better not say how long y'all been together.
That's another 3 minutes.
You better not say yeah. So the last comic talking about
Trying to
White
piggyback
sex.
on your shit.
But so let me tell you about that.
You would never work there again.
You would never.
You would never work there again.
You would never.
No.
yo.
Oh, you gotta go, Joe. Peace
Y'all
out,
gotta
Joe.
go, man.
Take care.
Peace
Hey,
out,
man,
Joe.
appreciate y'all, man.
Joe Feezy.
Killer the Night, Feezy.
Joe Feezy gonna be in Bahamas next week, right?
Gonna be in
Jamaica.
Jamaica, Montego Bay.
Fox will be in Jamaica with Tone
Montego
next
Bay.
week. to
Montego
continue
money.
birthday.
The Rock the World birthday weekend
Rock the
is
birthday
still
weekend.
going on.
Bring me an
Safe
eighth
travels,
back.
everybody, huh?
Yeah.
Bring me an eighth back from Jamaica.
And you know, hey, man, if I can get it through customs, I'll get it through customs.
Have a good set, bro.
All right.
Have a good set. But yeah, man, that's a good point, man. Like, the white clubs on the white nights don't respect the host. But here's the thing. As a black comedian, if you hosting a white night and still do your regular flavor, then you could really change the dynamic of the room. But I tell a lot of black comics, when you at these white clubs, they already know we funny.
Yeah.
So they looking for something else from us. They kind of take us for granted as far as the funny.
It's kind of
like, oh,
annoying.
he's black. We already know he's gonna be.
But it's
Well,
annoying.
It's so annoying.
Well, it depends too where you go. Like for instance, when I host the haha,
Haha's different though.
yeah.
Because
Haha
it's not in Hollywood.
If you Haha let you give you freedom to be.
I did an hour
you
15
You
at
could be a black right. You could be a black white host in
Right.
Haha. You can just bring
Right.
everybody up, but you can do some time.
Right.
yeah. But if you try that shit at the Improv or the Factory on a Wednesday night,
Or a Comedy Magic
or
or-
Comedy like
you
they
ain't-
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
you know, they really kind of feel like they downgrading you. Oh, let's give them the hosting spot.
But it's a double standard in a sense where, and I've noticed this now, where, and I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal or anything, but I feel like I'm making the rounds in clubs. I feel like I'm doing a good job at these clubs. Like you said, you get that hosting spot, but then you feel a little bit slighted because let's say there's someone that's around my same age that comes from the club, white boy, they give him the world.
Right.
And it almost makes you feel a little bit of some type of way.
And you killing it as a host.
And they're not
Because
doing as good of a job.
They can't even follow you what
But
they
you gotta
said
remember,
as you do as your host.
But let me help you out with that because their mindset isn't like that.
Ain't like that.
A white club and a black club, the mindsets are different.
Yeah.
The black club, the mindset is the host has to carry the show.
Funny.
Because a lot of
Okay,
times,
because
yeah.
no, they know you're gonna have some killers behind it, but they know the audience.
They ain't
nigga,
there.
black folks don't want no
a lot
rest
of
in
times,
between.
yeah, a lot of times in the black show, like, and I had a rocket show in DC, like, they ain't care. They didn't really care who was coming on as long as I was gonna come back up.
And you're a good host too.
Thank you. Like they was like, I don't care how this night going. If Chico's the host, I'm gonna stay the whole show.
Right.
And that's how the black shows is. Like, man, this host going crazy.
Because the host
like,
carries it.
like Trey always used to say the best chocolate sundaes when Tony Rock had that joint.
I always feel like the best.
Yeah.
The best.
So and it's like they was coming for Tony. Like we.
I feel like the best.
You
I feel
hope-
like that was the best.
you
Now,
hope-
mind you, I wasn't here.
Yeah, you wasn't here when it first
When-
started.
when Chris-
yeah, because after Chris it was me.
Oh, really?
See, yeah, that's what so
Look at Dannon like, whoa, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah,
Where
yeah,
you
right,
at, Tone?
right,
Tone, you listening?
slow down now.
Where he
And
at?
by the way, Tony, thank you for not
Rank
inviting me
Dannon.
to your party, motherfucker. Damn, I like Jamaica, nigga. Yeah.
But
No, but let me go ahead.
No.
So let me explain to you. So let's put it this way. At Chocolate Sundays, it's hard to miss. Let's just be honest.
That's real.
It's hard
That's
to miss.
real. We always-
The crowd is
everybody's stuff.
when a nigga
cannot miss.
when a comic misses at Chocolate Sundays, this nigga.
Oh, wait, Tony.
What, Tony?
Tony said the best. All right, Tony, keep watching on this segment. We talking about the best host. I'm going to break down why I feel like you were the best host. Because I never got the chance to host. Let me break it down why you was the best host. But Dan is about to argue his point. Then I'm going to rebuttal him. So keep listening, Tone.
No,
All right, go ahead.
no.
Go ahead.
So it's like if you first of all, if you miss at Chocolate Sundays, you just one, you lazy or you ain't funny.
Fact.
You ain't
Hard to miss.
because
Facts.
this crowd, Chocolate Sundays treats you, every comedian, like a superstar would be treated like a DL or a Sed would get. A DL and a Sed, just for example, they're going to get laughs off. They're going to get 5 minutes of laugh off the top just because of what they might have done in a movie or something. You got that coming already. You got to really blow it after that at Chocolate Sundays. So my thing is that at Chocolate Sundays, you have to, the host is important. Now here's the deal. When I was there, when it first started, Chris was there. Chris Spencer was the dude. And it was rocking. I think Tony was around at that time too. And then I would come in And after Chris, Pookie would call me up, hey, can you host this week? So I hosted for a long time. You know, now what happens is it's just the room doesn't shift, but each host has their own style. So I remember when Tony was there, and Tony used to kill it.
Let me tell you why I say Tone from the time out, because I moved to LA with Tone hosting.
Okay.
So my introduction to Chocolate Sundays was Tony Rock hosting.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
Right.
So, and from there to where it is now, when Tone had it, it was like a movie.
Damn.
I mean, it had all of the baddest chicks. All the celebs came, and I don't know how it was prior. So all the celebs would come, right? And it was like they wouldn't even let the comedians in sometimes, right? But it was a different swag that Tone had, because Tone was single. Tone was out here, you know what I mean, doing Tone.
Well, everybody.
It had that energy.
There's like an Elliot.
It had that East Coast. It had that East Coast. Like, yo, this shit is cracking.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like you knew you was gonna come here. You was gonna bag some chicks. You was gonna
Right.
see Nia
You gonna
Long.
get a number.
You was gonna see this celebrity.
Did Morris Chestnut come up there too?
Everybody.
Yes,
But the thing is, though,
and he was and his energy was killing. Right. So fast forward to now. I tell people now, it got very PG-13ish.
Well, because of the host.
Because of the host.
But
Like,
he's dope. He doesn't curse though.
Yeah, like, and the hosts are good, right?
Yeah, he's
Right. The hosts are cool, right?
Yeah.
But it's like Ron G don't curse.
Yeah.
Ron G don't curse.
So he's married,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So it ain't
even when Ron G wasn't married, it was still PG.
it was still PG,
But
and
here's
it still wasn't like, yo.
But
where the
Ron G
bitch is
hilarious.
at?
But here's-
It was
like,
not
Ron
what it
was
been.
so like, yo, where the like that bitch?
But the thing is,
Hold
go
on.
ahead.
Then we'll let you go.
No, go ahead.
Then you just started getting all of these like you know what I mean?
I know.
People.
You don't gotta say the name.
Yeah, it was just like, yo, this shit is looking real cul-de-sac-y.
Yeah,
Real Nickelodeon-ish.
It was real suburban.
It started turning. It went from Brooklyn.
I performed there one time, guys. There's
Yeah,
no reason-
it went from
crazy.
like Brooklyn to the streets of Brooklyn to suburban.
But let me say this,
and it
though.
was just like, yo, the flavor.
Yeah, but everybody, go ahead, Chico. You go.
I want to say this though. I understand what Trey's saying, and I wasn't here when Tone was, but you know when I was here, Chinese theater. Chinese theater was all 100% cracking. It was celebrities there. It was chicks. It was free drinking for an hour. Tone was hosting that. When I
Yeah.
say, as far as my journey since I've been here, that was the best night.
Well, what I'm saying is,
It was the
But
best
think
night
about
by
what you're
far.
saying. You're answering where you
Because we saying that was all we saw.
you're
And
sa-
that's what we wanted too.
No, but
we wanted the bitches.
no, but what I'm saying is,
Because Chris, no disrespect to Chris, but if Chris up there like, you know, Chris Flavor ain't like, where the bitches? Like, that ain't Chris Spencer.
Right,
yeah.
right.
But what I'm
Like,
saying
you
is,
ain't seeing Chris and be like, yo,
Right.
that nigga gonna get
But you gotta
The
remember,
material. A lot of women who like material. Like,
but
I like his material.
yeah, but guess what? But that's what I'm saying. You guys are making. That's the point. The point is that that's why in black clubs the host makes the room.
Yeah.
So the vibe of the host is what the vibe of the club is going to be. That's why at Chocolate Sundays you really still don't miss, because no matter who the host is, then that kind of group, that kind of group comes in.
Yeah.
You know, Tony used to have it cracking up there. You know what I mean? Shit, I wouldn't be for it. You know, maybe old nigga might come up here and get one of these young motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
catch a straggler.
Catch one slipping.
Yeah,
Get somebody that want to go to Bible study.
So you thirsty, huh? Okay.
Right.
Yeah. But I want to say something real quick about Fat Tuesday real quick. You know we discovered Nick Cannon.
I know that. I mean, I saw that. So what was that like?
How old was he?
So Nick was about 16. Guy and I were down in San Diego and doing a show, and Nick came up to us and said, that he wanted to get into doing comedy. So Nick wasn't even old enough to drive up here, and it was two dudes that used to drive him up here. My boy, this dude named Sam, oh man, and this other brother, I can't ride. He follows me every day online too. It was two main dudes that used to drive Nick up there. And, Nick had the bubblegum comedy, kid comedy.
Yeah.
I was playing tennis, tennis, nigga. Come on,
Yeah.
But I think the second time or the third time he came up, when he did it, Nickelodeon was in the house.
Wow. See?
And he wound up getting warm up for Keenan and Cal, and rest is history. I think it was warm up for that, so don't quote me.
Yeah, I
for that,
think
believe.
so. And
Yeah.
you know why? Because and this is just in my opinion, because he was young, and I doubt that there was any young kids like that
It wasn't competition.
going up there.
Yeah.
So it probably was just like, oh shit. Yeah. Who's this young kid? This is the first time I'm seeing.
And you gotta remember,
like
on top of that, again, the reason that a lot of guys were getting opportunities is because there was a lot of shows. So there was a lot of shows for
was
warm up.
stuff out.
So,
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff out.
like I did warm up for Just Jordan, the TV show.
Yeah.
I used to do the warm up for that.
Just
Little
coming to the stage.
Jay,
Brandon
JJ,
T-
little
Little JJ.
Little JJ.
Oh, yeah.
Little JJ.
Yeah, I used
He
to,
was touring a lot before that show.
I did. And like I did warm up for Moesha. I did warm up for Girlfriends, and then I was doing warm up. I did warm up for his show, and right when his show was about to get renewed, that's when we had that big strike.
Dang.
And killed everything, and that's when all the deals and everything was getting killed in Hollywood. Hollywood, they hustled and took everything off the books. So that's why you don't see people getting like holding deals no more. And,
But that'd be
all
funny
that type
too,
of
because
shit.
like Hollywood, like this be only like you go to parties and people be having credits that you don't know, but they be thinking they the shit, and you be like, I don't even know this show. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You be like, hey man, you ain't see me on.
You gotta hold on to them credits.
That's why I ain't
if you
clowning
ain't
them.
if you ain't
I ain't
performing a
clowning
lot or whatever, like like what's helping me now.
I was an extra on Sanford and Sons. Like,
Yeah.
nigga, nobody care about that.
Like what's helping me now is the fact that one, like my documentary's out. And
Yeah.
please everybody check that out, my boxing documentary.
The execution.
The Executioners is on it's on Tubi TV.
The executioner.
Executioners is plural.
Okay.
It's a boxing documentary about my old
you didn't get that. It's plural,
yeah,
nigga.
plural, nigga.
Like clarification.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a boxing documentary about my old boxing team out of Philadelphia. It's on Tubi right now. And that's been giving me a lot of juice. And then like right now, I'm currently waiting to find out if I'm going to get financed for my new movie.
Yeah.
So taking a different lane can also help you as well. Because, a lot of times, man, you may not want to be sitting around doing skits all day, or you may not, it's just a lot of different things you got to look at.
You got to put your hands.
You got to put yourself in the position that you think you can win it.
Yeah, you don't want to jump out there as an old comedian to be doing a TikTok dance. Like, it's not good for your brain. It's just
You know
not
what?
good for your brain.
And for me, it's just I don't. I thought about.
will blow you up, to believe it or not.
Yeah.
So Trey, would you do TikTok dances if you had a PR team? They was like, man, this is
But
gonna
I'm
take
not
you to
at
the
that
next
age.
level.
But I'm still at that age, so where it looked like I supposed to be doing it. It won't look as awkward. But if I was 70 doing TikTok dances, that shit would go.
Oh
viral.
yeah, you was 70 niggas.
That's
They'd
gonna
be
pop
like,
you though.
That's gonna pop.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that'd be cracking for you though. But like, again, man, it's this game. Like I tell people, man, you got to get a game plan, and you got to stick to it. And if your game plan is not proof, then what you do is you set a game plan, but you watch other people, you learn from other people, and say, okay, this is a path I may need to do. I watch everybody. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I used to always do. I don't watch comedy. I don't watch comedy because I don't like to be influenced by what anybody's talking about. I don't watch. The only time I watch comedy is when I did my comedy special. I shot a special one time. I produced my own, and I watched George Lopez. I watched George Carlin, and I watched Dave Chappelle. And I only watched George, Dave, and George on how they started it and how they ended. I know I got material, but I just want to see how they start. Like, do you come out and you jump right in? You know what I mean? So now, you learn shit, but I don't watch comedy. You know what I mean?
And you know what? I think, like, I hear all the youngins, and they like, I watch all the greats. But see, when you watch all of them, what you subconsciously doing is gathering material.
Well, that's what they're doing.
That you just don't know that you're gathering.
Yeah.
So then when you go and write a joke, you subconsciously have so much material in your mind, and you don't know what's yours and what you then like.
Don't get it twisted. They know what they're doing. Don't get it twisted.
No, I agree with that.
You
It ain't that. It ain't
do.
that. It
See,
ain't
my
that.
thing is,
Yeah, you're right.
the thing about it is, like, I put some skits on, not skits, but like little bits of my comedy on YouTube so people can just see me. You know what I mean? But I've been lucky enough too. I've done a number of commercials. You know what I mean? So people can see me. But if you're not getting the visibility, if you know you're not getting it, then you can't go wrong by doing social media. You know what I mean?
I think, because I see like Trey post a lot, and you post a lot too.
Yeah.
And you it's like no disrespect, but you newly doing it. So I like
Yeah.
that you created out of nowhere. You doing the drive things,
Right.
And I tell people, it feel like to me, and I only say this because when I went to DC, I sold out one show, but it might don't look like people watching, but they be watching.
Yeah, they watch.
So
it.
like,
And
your
go
numbers
ahead.
might not go up,
Yeah.
and you might not know, but like. Go to Philly and sell out. They see all. They gonna be like, I seen all of them.
Nigga, let me tell you something.
They might have not liked it or nothing, but
Let me
they
tell you
seen
something. I know.
all of
Let me tell you
them.
something. I know they watch. And with me, with
They
my
all
commentary, I know they watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And because I'll go places and they be go, AKA Black, and I'm like, nigga, who you? And I said,
Yeah.
I never see your name pop up on the
that's
line.
why you can't
That's
stop.
how they do with me too. So many people be like, "Yo, when you cooking again?" And I'm like, "Yo."
They watching.
And believe it,
And I'm
yeah.
like, you don't never you like the cooking thing? Like I never see you comment. I never see you like.
Right.
They be like, yo, when you gonna cook again, bro?
Yeah, shout out
So-
to
And what-
Lulu Gonzalez. Lulu told me this one time. She's like, Chico.
She was on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
Oh, she was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, Lulu, she a heavy, high level influencer. She's like, man, you gotta pick 2 or 3 things and just do that.
Yeah.
Just don't be all over the place. She's like, you gotta make your praise what you want them to view you as.
Yeah.
So I ain't did it, but
Yeah.
she gave me good information
yeah,
though.
But that's why I go live and see. And believe it or not, it helps. Like Trey come on all the time. You know what I mean? And I love because I didn't do that before. Before I was doing all my lives and it would just be me. And I said nope, because what happens is now people are looking at me and they're judging me off of that. Because I don't have anybody either debating or saying I agree with you. So then you can build some animosity towards the people, especially when you do it the way
you
I
need
do.
an antagonist and a protagonist.
In some aspects. Or you need somebody to say, yo,
Back and forth.
I agree with what you say. So like lately I've had, Trey come on.
Yeah.
I had Byron Chamberlain on, 2-time Super Bowl champ. Olin Polynice came on. I'm getting names.
Yeah.
I get people came on. I had somebody come on the other day. That was a good name. I forgot what it was, and it was just like nobody would expected me to have them on the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's one of the main reasons why I wanted you as a guest, because I was like, yo, Dannon got not different opinions and things like that, but we didn't even. I mean, this is what I love about the show. We didn't even get to any controversial, any type of thing, because just listening to the stories and
Right.
experience, that shit took over. Which
Oh,
was
yeah,
like-
okay.
Which was like the best.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't pay for that.
Yeah.
for that
Well, I
kind
appreciate
of-
it, man.
yeah.
I appreciate it because for me, and sometimes because I feel like a lot of times I'm misunderstood out here. Because on stage, I'm a fool and I go for it. But off stage, I'm reserved because I like to observe shit. You know what I mean? And I'm always, I guess it's an East Coast thing. I'm always on my P's and Q's. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to think they can just come up and start talking shit to me. And if you notice, you won't never see me in bagging sessions. I don't do all that shit. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Like, do you think, what percentage do you think comedians are introverts?
A lot of us are. You know why? Because a lot of us have had hard lives. I've had a very tough life. You know what I mean? But I don't wear it on my shoulder. But at the same time, like when I'm out, let me put it this way: when I'm out and I'm cool with it, I'm good. Like if I see you with Trey, we talking shit. If I don't dig a motherfucker, the motherfucker, I don't treat them no differently. That's just not the energy space that I go to.
Yeah.
And most of the time, what I thank God is that I built a rep where a lot of people respect me at least.
Yeah.
Even if they don't like me, I will say, you ain't gotta like me. Nigga, you gotta respect that.
Hey man, shout out to
You know?
Dannon, because Dannon, to be honest, got me in the ha-ha for real. Like, I had been going to ha-ha.
Yeah.
To be honest, I just hang around, and I swear, like, one night, Dannon was like, Trey, you know Chico? So it's like, I respect, like, he ain't got to do that. And
I thought I did that.
Trey put me on a lot of stuff, but that's Dannon's, you know what I'm saying?
But you know what, man? Because, I've done that. You know what? Like, it's comics I hate the brother that I've helped.
Yeah.
And I ain't no millionaire by no means, nigga. I work. It's niggas I've given money to. I've done a lot. It's females that have come and asked me about advice. I give them advice. I mean, one chick, comedian, she came up to me and she goes, do you have any advice? She was new in town. She said, do you have
You
any
said
advice?
advice or advice?
Advice. She said, you have any advice? Yeah, I got advice too, but she said, you have any advice? I said, about what? You be the new comedian? I said, okay. Because she was cute. I said, the first thing I'm going to tell you is don't fuck no comics.
After.
Right? And then,
Come go.
let me tell you what she did.
Pass
She
it
did
down.
that
No,
very
I'm
same
just
thing.
playing.
She
I'm
goes,
just
I don't know about all that. I said, well, then you don't want to make it. Because you're only going to get, that pussy only going to get you to how far that nigga want to take you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
And I've seen it. I'm not gonna use no names. I've seen some fly ass motherfucking female comics fuck it up, fucking names.
Damn.
Hey, my actor coach used to say, "You can't fuck them, okay? Don't fuck them, okay?" Yeah, one time Jay Bernstein, I bust in the room and he was doing a number on. I said, "Yo, get the fuck off of her right now. You can't fuck them, okay?"
Hey,
mean,
you
shout out to all the
learn that
girls.
you learn that in the comedy game. Like, it's some chicks that's better. They're gonna serve you better in the business aspect more than trying to build a relationship. So sometimes you're like, nah, I don't want to have sex.
Yeah.
Let's do this business.
Yeah.
Because everybody because guess what? If you do mess with her and she big in the game and y'all fall out, she might burn you without you knowing.
You know, it's
So,
just
like,
I mean,
you
look, we
gotta
all,
have P. Diddy.
look, we
It's
all,
chess.
look,
It's
we all
chess.
want to get down with a broad man.
Yes.
You know, but here's the deal, man. If you really serious about your game out here, you ain't trying to do that. Now, if you meet another female comic and y'all vibe,
Yeah, it's something totally different.
Yeah.
and she be like, you know, I'm gonna fuck you, but let's not let nobody know we
Yeah,
fucking.
right,
We fucking. We just nobody know we fucking.
Oh, the S,
you know what I mean?
that's
You know
called
what
the
I mean?
SF.
You know?
The secret fucks.
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, hey, you had a good set tonight. Meet me at the crib. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's just how it is. But I you know, I'm telling you, man. I tell anybody young in the game, man, you gotta just, man, know how to. The problem is half people don't know how to hustle. Motherfuckers, and networking is the most important part. You know,
bro.
I've started doing more podcasts and shit like that because it gets people now that, you know, your fan base or someone different to see, okay, who's this dude?
Like,
you know what I mean?
It'll be somebody who see me at Dannon interacting, and then the next post Dannon posts without me, they'll interact on his post,
Right.
Because they see me and him interacting, and that's how you just, you know, you build, like, I guess the cross, you know what I'm saying, fan base.
I'll tell you the number one thing, because I know Greg go.
Yeah.
The number one thing I'm going to tell anybody to do, and I'm going to tell you to do, I'm going to tell anybody to do, is something that I learned from Bill Duke and Damon Wayans in an article that he had in Ebony Man. Okay, so I was in the first big boot camp that Bill Duke ever had out here.
Bill Duke, if y'all don't know, he's
Oh.
the director and actor. He was the one in Menace to Society.
Yeah.
That was like, you know fucked
He was
up,
also
right?
was in Predator too.
And he was in Predator too.
Yeah.
You know fucked
Yeah, he's
up,
the one
right?
that- you know you fucked up, right?
Yeah, he was in
So-
Predator
That's
too.
Bill Duke.
Yeah, so he had the first big boot camp back in '98, acting boot camp. It was only supposed to be for like 2 or 3 weeks. It wound up going 4, 5, 6 months. In that boot camp, we had Taraji Henson, Anthony
DC in the
Anderson,
building.
Who? What's the second one?
Anthony Anderson, Lisa Ray, Shamar Moore, Chris Spencer, Monica Calhoun. We had some of the biggest names in Hollywood in there. And I remember the first day we were all sitting at this theater down on Santa Monica. And he came in, he said, okay. He said, what do you do? We everybody, we got balls, everybody talking shit. Yeah, with you, I'm a comic, comedian. Okay. And you, what do you do? I'm a writer. And what do you do? I'm a producer. And you, I'm an actor. And then he said, see, the difference between you guys and me is that I'm all of those things. I'm an entrepreneur. He said, if you want to make it out here, you have to own intellectual properties. He said, you're going to have to write. And I never forget it. And then I read an article with Damon Wayans, and he was an Ebony Man. And he said, I think it was either him or Keenan. So it was one of the Wayans, one of him. And they said, the most powerful thing you can have in Hollywood is the pen. So that's why I write. I got 5 screenplays written,
That's real though.
in my doc, because at the end of the day, what Bill said is this. He says he was 55 at the time. So, he's up damn near 70-something, almost 80-something now. He said, you have to ask yourself, do you want to be 55 and still auditioning? So if you're going to be, you want to know that you also got something that you're presenting. A lot of people don't write. You can do all of the motherfucking videos. You can go live. You can do as much viral shit all you want. But at the end of the day, if you want to maintain this joint, and look, we all gonna get older and want to slow down and want to, you want to make your money differently. You better write. You better create.
Yo.
That's dope, man.
That's the best way to end this episode, man. Yo, that was a jewel, brother.
My man.
We appreciate that.
All love.
Danny Green, let them know where you at and where they can find you.
Well,
brother.
first of all, man, I appreciate my 2 partners, Chico and Trey, man. And they know it. They know they my boys, though.
Yeah,
And I say it all the time, man. So I got mad respect for these young brothers, and I believe that they're gonna be doing big things out here. I have a show the 22nd. Oh, this Saturday I'm at the comedy comedy club down in Bellflower with Larry Lala.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to be in the Bay Area the 31st of with Rated R. It's going to be Scrancho, myself. Who else? Somebody else on the show I forgot, but a big show out in the Bay Area. And then I got a show I'm going to be doing. I'm actually going to talk to you guys if you guys are available August 9th. I'm doing a show at the Ice House. So if
What's
you
the
want to
budget?
like I said, Trey, I got a show I'm doing. Yeah, you don't even have to argue with nobody. You just say the name of the nigga you want. So Trey. But so I got, but you can follow me on Dannon Green 66 Instagram, Dannon Green, Dannon Green. On Instagram I have 2, and then Dannon Green 66, and then Dannon Green on Facebook. I'm sorry, but yeah. So follow me too on Facebook. I go live at least 2 or 3 times a week. And unfortunately, we didn't get into the Caitlin Clark
I wanted to.
So maybe I come. Yeah, but I'm quite sure, man. I'll let her come back. But man, mad respect to all you brothers, man, and thank you so much for having me, man.
Thank
really,
you, man. Chico.
Man, I'm gonna be in Oakland this Thursday with Kirk McHenry. Check my page for that flyer information. I'm gonna be doing Ice House next Saturday with Nicole. I can't think. I think it's Nicole Moore.
Okay.
I don't want to get her name mixed up. I got a little project I'm working on. I ain't gonna say nothing about it. But also, I got to use this time. I got to shout out my man Tony Rock because
shout out to.
I just got to shout him out because I went to a earthquake party. Right, they wasn't gonna let me in, and I had some chicks there who kind of was like, "You don't got no juice," you know, and like Tone seen me, you know what I'm saying? He let me in. I mean, it's just little shit like this. Why you know what I'm saying? I know it ain't big, but at the time it was big to me for real. Cause you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like, I ain't had the juice to get in. So just the fact that Tone like just looked out, you know what I'm saying? Those little things mean a lot for real. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tone Rock for juicing me in. And I got the hit that night. I ain't gonna say the name, but I got some hit off of that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. But yeah, man. Ice House next Saturday, June 29th.
I just want to give a shout out to Tony too, man, because Tony Rock is, he's one of those dudes, man. Me and Tony, I guys like him I respect because I know he's always showed me respect. You know what I mean? And he'll come up and we'll talk boxing because he's big in boxing too. But I bet shout out to T-Rock because that's my guy. And we did. I did his show before. Tony Rock had the cable show he had one time called One Mic. I think it was
One Stop. One mic.
One mic stand back in the day.
Yeah,
he started at the Comedy Union. And so Tony Rock has always been a big
Funny Stop.
Funny Stop, yeah. He's always been a big supporter of me, man. So mad love and shout out to T-Rock. I want to make sure I say that.
Yes, sir. And then you can catch me this weekend on the Rock the Mic tour. We are at the Comedy Mothership in Austin, Joe Rogan's club. Then a week after that, you can catch all of us, man. Me, Feezy, Tone Rock. We're going to be at Wise Acres Comedy Club in Las Vegas, man. And in the meantime, in between time, shout out to Tone. As you all know, he's in Puerto Rico right now. He comes in on the episode. Good look. They in the Bahamas next weekend. You know what I mean? I got work to do, so I won't be on the islands, man, but I'll be there in spirit. But we will be turning up for Tone's birthday weekend in Austin. And man, so you guys follow me at Comedian Trey Elliot. You already know. Big announcement. We will not be doing the episode next week. So next week, you will have time to go back to some of your old episodes, some of your favorite episodes. Go ahead and watch them. We will not have an episode next week because niggas is busy. Niggas is busy, man. So we will be back July 2nd. And with that being said, we out of here, live from the green room.
Tone said, good episode. Peace, fellas.
Oh, you already know, man. We out. Peace.
Good episode. Those were good.